Spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon television. Spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you will know. The children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening, Moreover, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry, to spoon. To spoon. To spoon. You from Vanjama, Maryland, to spoon. To spoon. If you eat keep my graduate, my brother, to spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, to spoon. To spoon. Rastafari. Kilibaba, kilibaba, kilibaba. Kilibaba, kilibaba, kilibaba. What I want? Yes, I do back today.
Spoon TV. Spoon.
Yes, I do back today.
Spoon TV. Spoon.
From the CEO standing with the scrolls, and your boy right at the south and then charges on the beat.
To the spoon to get your information. To the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon television. Spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you will know. The children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening, moreover, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry, to spoon. To spoon. To spoon. You from Vanjama, Maryland, to spoon. To spoon. If you eat keep my graduate, my brother, to spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, to spoon. To spoon. Rastafari. Kilibaba, kilibaba, kilibaba. Kilibaba,
Time, a special one from the CEO standing with the scrolls, and your boy right at the south and then charges on the beat.
To the spoon to get your information. To the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon television. Spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you will know. The children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening, moreover, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You from Funjama, Maryland, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. If you eat get my graduate, my brother, to spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. What? Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibaba. What I want? Yes, what you got today?
School TV.
Yes, what you got today?
With the scrolls and your boy right at the south bend. Charges on the beat.
To the spoon to get your information. To the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon television. Spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you will know. The children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening, moreover, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You from Funjama, Maryland, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. If you eat get my graduate, my brother, to spoon. You got it.
Yes, sir. A special one from the CEOs standing with the scrolls and your boy right at the south bend. Charges on the beat.
To the spoon to get your information. To the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon television. Spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you will know. The children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening, moreover, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. spoon. What? Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibaba, 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 kilibaba. What I want? Yes, I do back today.
School TV. School.
Yes, I do back today.
School TV, school
Yes, I, the special one from the CEO standing with the scroll. And your boy, right at the south bend. Charges on the beat.
to the school to get your information. To the school to be part of our discussion. School television. School radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you will know. The children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening, moreover, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. To spoon. You from Vanjama, Maryland, to spoon. To spoon. If you eat keep on graduate, my brother, to spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, to spoon.
Yes, I, the special one from the CEO standing with the scroll. And your boy, right at the south bend. Charges on the beat.
To the school to get your information. To the school to be part of our discussion. School television. School radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you will know. The children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening, moreover, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry, to spoon. To spoon. To spoon. You from Vanjama, Maryland, to spoon. To spoon. If you eat keep on graduate, my brother, to spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, to spoon. To spoon. What? Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibaba, 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 kilibaba. What I want? Yes, I do back today.
School TV.
Yes, I, the special one from the CEO standing with the scroll. And your boy, right at the south bend. Charges on the
Cabron once said in a quote, life without liberty is like a body without spirit. Indeed, we are here again for another fascinating time of discussion on key national issues. Spoon Talk is here, Spoon Talk is there, Spoon Talk is everywhere. Get a friend to tell a friend that indeed it's time to talk the talk as we walk the walk. We decide the fate of Mama Liberia through our discussion of national issues. A writer once said in our quote, we hang the petty tips and appoint the great ones to public office. Here we are again. Spoon Talk is going to talk key national issues, and you need to be informed to use those information as tools and not to abuse. As we keep the peace, we do it in unison. My name is Rufus Divine Cannon, your sound coordinator for tonight's presentation. The CEO will shortly be joining. We have Dr. Henry P. Bale in. James Good Diplomat is on the other side. Before much ado, I say good evening for my end.
Well, what a pleasant day, guys. Rufus, good to see you, and James, good to see you guys, man. It's good to see you and for what you do, keeping this show alive, man. Good to see you guys. Greetings.
Yeah, same for my end. Compliments of the season.
I like the quote that you just said, that while you hang the petty thieves and bring the
and appoint the good ones to public office.
So what does that mean?
We need to ask the writer.
That's a great quote. I would love that. And bring the great ones into office. Wow, that's good. So the great people is the one that comes to office. But great team. Yeah. Wow. James, what's up, brother?
We can't complain. God manning us. We're here observing as the movement continues.
Wow, the weather surprisingly was good today, like 54. So I actually able to wear my t-shirt. But I wore my jacket still. I was sweating. But I know where you at, James. It must be very cold though.
It's a little bit okay.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I went out today with just a t-shirt.
Oh wow, that's good though.
Yeah,
good.
it's okay today.
So Rufus, how is Morovia? I heard there's a lot of December there in Morovia, man. How is it going?
Well, it's relatively calm from everyone's own angle. I can speak for the others, but relatively it's calm. Just that things are not what we expected in terms of the festive season. Not much people smiling because it may be difficult on the other end financially. But however, at least we have peace and people are going on the normal activities. When there's life, there is hope. We are muted.
On the back road there is a lot of traffic by the station going that way. We have this major entertainment spot. And there's a lot of traffic that goes that way. Kangatan back road. So I can imagine how it was today and how it is every night, like from 6 o'clock going. So
I know, but not as usual. Basically, for this festive season, we don't have much traffic all over the place because I don't know the reason, but best known to myself, I think people trying to be in their own space. Yeah.
But today, one of the greatest soccer stars that ever lived on the face of this earth, King Pele.
He died at 82.
Yes. One of the greatest soccer stars. What do you got, Jim? What do you remember King Pele?
I was not born.
James was still tapping rubber in the
even you were not born, bro.
I learned of him, James.
Hello, Rufus.
I witnessed highlights of King Pele. When you're talking about George Weah, you're talking about King Pele. Those guys play football adequately.
Rufus, the point is not whether you watch King Pele highlights. When it comes to that, even my daughter is currently watching Pele's highlight.
What was the question? What was the question?
My point here is the question, the way he asked me, I just answered like I did not watch Pele play. But as per history, I read more about Pele becoming the first player to win 3 World Cups, scoring over 1,200 goals, and becoming the face of football for many, many decades. Yeah. But
So
now
what's the difference? What's the difference from what I said?
At least my greatest people who I watch, the greatest player that I know, that Messi.
Why?
Did not even watch President Weah when he played. He was the greatest soccer icon at that time.
No, I was in Guinea at that time. I was in Masanta when George was playing. I was much smaller, so I did not see. The only person who I saw playing football, who my eyes open, and I saw playing good football was Ronaldinho. He became the first player who I got his jersey. Ronaldinho, Kaká, from the Ronaldinho era, Zidane. Oh boy, I saw them. Wow. I saw a couple of Zidane, but we are.
You begin to.
I was born 1990. They're not something that we will be born together. There were people who came before you, and they saw great things.
So Jim was born right around the 90s. Man, you got a
long time. I
was born January 21st, 1990.
You got a long time. You got long life, bro. I love that. You're a very young man, and very, very, very young man. But welcome to the nation's only sin, Tumling Ningolo George. Tumling, welcome, man. Welcome.
Hey, everybody, what's up, man?
Man, I'm holding it down here.
Hey, how you guys doing, man?
I'm pretty good, by the special grace.
Yeah, King Pele, he was an inspiration to so many millions. A reference yesterday, today, and forever, man. He touched people's lives, and we heard about him when we grew up. The legend, the soccer legend. He's the greatest who ever played the soccer game. But let him rest in glory. And the condolences to his family and the people of Brazil. The soccer world is mourning his death today.
Yeah, that's sad though, because when we did, I think a while ago, a couple of weeks ago, they said that they have given him up, and then he rebounds. They send a tweet, I think, that he was not dying yet and all of that, and just one of the things that with the doctors that when they give you a certain time and say that you're gonna die this time, except by the grace and mercy of God that you will actually come back. But some of the doctors are they know exactly what they're saying. God have given them that wisdom, to diagnose and touch people and know exactly. So we just want to mourn with the family, and then our thoughts and the speeches are with them. I read about him. I watched video when he was playing soccer. I don't know what I remember seeing him playing when I don't think I was.
No, we watched highlights of him.
Yes.
During his time, we're kids when he was playing all this great soccer. But when I'm born, I started real so.
Yeah. And so
I think that frisky begin party Bodo can he want them. I think begin you know what I mean? But come there, sir.
Right.
Who did I even see George Weah playing?
Patrick, did I even see President Weah playing? Then he said he saw Pele playing.
I think Patrick better behave yourself. In Australia, they chill.
Patrick Kennedy.
Patrick, we somehow related something away, but he was strong. We are supporter.
Yeah.
Every day in my bars, my man, you better come back.
Yeah.
Went somewhere for.
You know what? When I want to let's see or bring Patrick on one day because he's been with us. The few folks that have been with Patrick, Kennedy, Baswa, Baswa.
The Hollywood celebrity.
Yeah. And what's the other name? The other kid, the other guy, he's very generous. What's his name, man? I think he's in Liberia now. I'm gonna think about his name.
Kwasizi.
Yeah, Daniel Bozisi.
Yeah, Bozisi, yeah.
Wonderful guy. Good kid. I mean, he just love his people. He generally has a foundation that help people. I mean, great
Oh,
guy.
Samuel Jackson said he saw Pele playing.
Oh yeah, well, Mr. Jackson had to.
Samuel Jackson, man, almost 70 years. So why you not see Pele
Mr.
play?
Jackson had to, man. Mr. Jackson had to. Mr. Jackson saw a lot of things happen. Mr. Jackson used to be in the U.S.
Mariama Kabase ain't call Nishu suspend herself on spoon.
Who?
Mariama Kaba, she said ain't call Nishu suspend herself on
Get in
spoon.
trouble now. Marama, good to see you too. Marama always here with us, man, watching. And our man Joe Torres Zoga, Joe Torres Zoga, one of our strongest. And tell me, what's your friend name, man? He will go after you if you try to get to us. He will nail you on that on Facebook. Don't even try to us.
James Coyette?
Yeah, Jim.
Yeah, when they attack me, go after them.
You know, I mean,
I see my sister Charlene,
Manichi, Charlie. Yeah, Charlene, one of our strongest fan, man. You know, I mean, it's
Charlene from Pennsylvania. Yeah, Charlene LRB Menage. Yeah.
Oh, she in LRB.
No, she's in Bristol, Pennsylvania. But she one of our strong fans too.
Yes.
Charlene, in Bristol, PA.
Yes, you know, it means a lot for folks to just take up the time.
I see my oldest brother watching. Othello friend George is watching too.
You know, and we have folks
like
yeah.
I think she's in Liberia, visiting Liberia right now. Right. Tina Manef in Texas, Nathaniel Williams, Samuel Jackson, the senior veteran, Patrick Kennedy, Patrick Kimba Kekula, Joel Torres Zoka. I'm not picking from Delaware. Joel Torres Zoka.
Yeah.
Menka Casey. You name that. But what's happening?
Juma, what's the guy named Juma Chala? I know he's mad with me, but Juma is a good listener of ours. He's mad with me.
Yeah, I see Macan Charlotte Randa. Hey, yeah. Macan without Putula Green. I can cook that Putula Green, man. Green too.
Randall Thomas. He's another good fan of us.
Oh yeah.
You know, Randall, and then our own big sister, Sis Ade Captain. She is on.
Her Excellency Ambassador Ade Jones Captain.
Yeah, she will put us in check every time we try to go off. She try to check us. You know, and Ambassador Richard Boyan Dix.
I mean, I in trouble. I gotta call the ambassador by all means. Go ahead, and I promise I gotta do it now. Ambassador Richard Boyan Dix.
Yes. Randall Thomas, man, doing Jesse. Good to see you. Thank you for coming on the show, man. You know, all these great people, and we applaud you guys. I know we do.
Fredericks, Toba Yinswa, James Doe.
Yes.
Achimo Fredericks, one of Liberia's greatest basketball player back in the day.
Yes.
I think he played for Hornets.
Yes.
And Toba Yinswa, the guy who is down, he's the guy who started the CDC in Liberia, but now they call it MPhil.
Yes, Dr. Toba Yinswa. You know, he just graduated from John Hopkins University, man. Good, humble man. Very humble guy.
I feel happy that he's around. So in the future, Liberia will have somebody who can tackle infectious diseases, will come about.
Right.
And we still got these people around. Thank God for him,
And our man Solo follow us religiously. Even when he's driving, he has the show on. You know, it means a lot when folks take up the time. I know we and I agree. We'll go after each other, but when folks sit there and take up the time and watch this show, we really appreciate them. A whole lot. Nestor Seni,
he's a legend.
Yes,
no nonsense defender. You saw the guy play football in Liberia, Nestor Seni.
I heard about him.
He used to wear the black gloves.
Yes.
When they say others leading, forget it. The defense locked. And no nonsense. You messed up and forget it. You're one stretcher.
Yeah.
He's a Lone Star too.
Man, he's a great guy.
He's a very nice guy, man.
Very good guy. You know, he'll put anybody in check if they do that. You know, he's a great guy. But how do we start today, Timothy? What's happening in the country? How do we start? I mean, good. If we didn't call your name, man, don't get mad with us. But we'll continue to do this as we go on the show. You know, people that are watching our show, Miss Martha George from the Bassa Association. You know, I saw Vivian Hansford. You know, a lot of people. You know, Stephen Yenny, Philip Winner, Duck. You know, if I pronounce your name, please bear with me. D Banks and all watching our show.
Oh, my boy D Banks.
Yes.
Hollywood celebrity.
Yes.
D Banks. And the boy's a Hollywood celebrity.
You know.
Going D Banks.
Yes.
These are the connection, man.
Yeah. So we love to have you guys, man. Thank you for watching our show. Even if you Decon Damina J, thank you for watching. You know, we'd love to have you, even if you agree with me or not. You know, y'all call me all kind of names, no problem. You're my good friend still. I love you. You know, so but what's trending, Rufus? You in Monrovia? What's trending in Liberia? What's the news that is trending Liberia today?
Well, someone may say I don't want to blow a horn for Liberian politicians, but the news about the arrival of Henry Costa is one of those issues. And key to that, we also have the dedication that was actually made by the president on yesterday. The Emery Hospital. A lot of folks talking about that. At least it brings relief to the folks, most especially from that side of Liberia, because when we had the opportunity to work with Red Cross, and when it comes to medication for that side, it was difficult. People used to troop into Montserrat to have themselves treated. But you have a state-of-the-art hospital in that area. Folks from the Guinean side, folks from the Sierra Leone side will also benefit from that gesture from our foreign partners.
So there's a trending that Henry Pedro Costa is going to be going to Liberia, and you know all the members of the COP and everybody are gearing up to.
I mean, the man paid for the announcement.
No, I'm just talking about what's trending in Liberia. You know, and he said
the man ain't paying for the announcement. The man is in Ghana right now. You know, I think, man, Costa. But go ahead, Dad. How you doing?
You know, so but one or two people said I need to let the people know that they're watching. Miss Elder Foster from Pennsylvania and my brother just texted me to remind me he's watching too. Jay Wesley Peabody Jr. So I don't want to get in trouble, but the CEO is here now. We're going to turn it over to him. We got to get in trouble.
No. Go ahead, do your thing.
You know.
I thought it was Tumani that moderating today.
Yeah, Tumani. So Tumani, go ahead. You take over from there, Tumani.
We got a lot of stuff happening though.
Yeah.
We got the James Bennett from NPP. We got I don't know. They say ANC joining CDC. Is that news also? ANC joining CDC. Is that a news?
That was just a. I think it was just a bid, maybe, and I think the
That's Syria news.
And then
that's serious news, James.
Quickly.
That's Syria news.
Why is it serious? Why?
The reason why it is serious, ANC has always been critical on the CDC, but to hear from one of the top figure within the CDC to talk about, even in conversation with the ANC, we are concerned to know why. We want to know why. So that's the serious part of it. We want to know why that conversation. There should be a reason why the mayor came up with that conversation or came up with that.
Too many jobs.
The ANC press release just
There isn't nothing in that press release. They just vote because they want to write.
They want to give credence to Koji.
Too many judge. ANC said was wrong. ANC too many said was wrong, right? ANC was wrong. Even replying, ANC
nothing in road.
They shouldn't have. Let me say this. Listen, I would say this though. Central George Dr. Peabody. ANC fell for Jefferson Koji trap. They went straight into his trap. Jefferson Koji was just being Jefferson Koji. You say Aloysius Stowe and Jefferson Koji's, were schoolmates and all of these things. That's fine. But who on earth going to believe that ANC is talking to CDC. Now, some members of ANC can be talking to CDC individually, not as a collective body. But that's what we need to get clear. So we shouldn't give it any credence, man. Let's just talk about very important issue. ANC folks, like ANC is dying already. Leave them, let them die. And, you know, don't stop picking on them. And, you know, yeah, stop picking on the ANC folks. James, leave them, let them die a good death. Right?
No, sometimes they have to die a painful death.
No. Don't make them die a painful
My man, come on,
You know,
James.
ANC is a formidable opposition party.
ANC, there is no way. There is no way right now. 72 hours to the new year. Too many planning for the new year. I know, because I received the information today. What too many is planning for the new year? Something very, very big. You know, Dr. Peabody will be ordained as a bishop.
No, I can't not. I will not. I will not even accept it. No, I do want to.
I know. For me, I know. When I know you gotta give that, and I give.
Dr. Peabody.
You know, Baptist church. We got no bishop in the Baptist church. I don't want to.
Dr. Peabody will be ordained as a bishop.
That's not true. I'm a Southern Baptist. We don't have no bishop. Yeah, no, we don't.
So these guys, they're making the plan for the new year. I heard that the Peabody going to join the Lutheran Church with Pastor Raymond Collison.
Raymond, my friend, I'm with him though.
And he's going to be the bishop.
You know, Peabody, they keep on telling the year, my man still know what, like, I mean, he was regular to that church. He even encouraged you to go to church. You want to church that day,
yeah, man. They made fun of all that with something.
What you say? Remember the church or job?
But I had a call. I can't go to the church with the call. You know that, and that's why I didn't go. But yeah, I love Pastor Raymond preaching. That's a wonderful church. The church is a family-oriented church.
A lot of people that know you said they know you from the church. Say you should be you are very good at that. You are. And then singing in the choir. But my man, but what happened?
No, I didn't sing in the choir.
But you just sing. You are very
ordained. Stand out to be a minister.
Yeah, no, I was never ordained.
No, man, but what happened, man?
You are in the process.
So when we talk about the Liberian issue, or
you want to know go back to those days, man. The old time religion. Go back.
Okay, but
old time religion.
But this is what happened, right? This is what happened. The church issue is a beautiful thing. I grew up in the church.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
I grew up in the church. You know, Pastor Amos Anderson from the Upper Room Ministry, a beautiful, beautiful church. He did extremely well with every one of us. My church friends, the Julius, Nanwe, Lorenzo, Kuan, Pius, Dagwe, Terrence DeWard, and Kemon Sambala, Jefferson Dennis. We grew up in the church, man. Good young man then, faithfully, witnessing, winning souls to Christ. Knowing the Bible from Genesis 1 to Revelation N. You just couldn't tell us anything about the Bible. We quote the scripture as it is. But thank God for that, And I love the church. I love going to church.
2023, you'll be more active and you'll get back.
I am still active in the church.
Go to Pastor Martin Church and strengthen it.
Pastor Martin still got church?
Yes.
Yes, strong church.
I don't know that. I really don't know.
Strong church. I'll go to New Year's Sunday.
Pastor Martin Church?
Yeah.
Let's go to Pastor Raymond Church, man. The New Year's service can be good. The beat, the drum, the samba, the salsa, the praise and worship can.
In line with the nice.
What are you doing?
Irritable fans say you felt because boom. You did a bring that guy on one day.
The man had and said, "I'm buying."
You did a call on one day.
We were in church the way I met my wife. Thank God for that. It was a good thing. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing to do. No smoking, no drinking. Stay faithful. Thank God for that.
Well, drinking, I don't think that can miss you.
For me, no smoking, no drinking.
National on the chairmanship of James Barney. Says Vice President Howard is no longer standing about the NPP.
We're gonna give that announcement. We are trying to bring James Bannon on. We're working on James Bannon. He need to come speak. It's important for you to understand something about NPP that is happening. Something is happening seriously, and I hope folks can listen. But guys, don't take Jefferson comment to be a serious comment, guys. Jefferson being Jefferson Koji, wake up in the morning after all the hustle, you got to say something, and he said that ANC to collaborate with any party would not be CDC. And I don't think CDC want ANC to collaborate with them. But the ANC people always get into their feelings. These things, sometimes you just ignore it, put a statement on, and keep moving. They are very thin-skinned, condescending, most of them. And they think that they are so important. And those behavior around Cummings, making Cummings to lose greatly. His influence is diminishing, and they have to adjust and readjust. They advised him to bring Louis Brown. There go Louis Brown. You can't see anymore. He failed. Musa Bility is still working behind the scene. And Musa Bility is still fighting for his position in Nimba County. All these things happening, and it's just like, wow. Cummings, what's going on? Do you think Cummings will bounce back? Dr. Peabody, do you think Cummings will rejuvenate? He will have that spark this 2023? Or what can take Cummings to that level, Dr. Peabody? What can bring him back?
Well, honestly, I don't think he would bounce. He was out. He's still a formidable candidate. He's still.
But what can bring him to that level, man? Cummings is going dim by the day. His folks, the problem about the 70,000, he's not speaking. His security get gun issue. He just ignoring it. And news reaching us that Cummings knew about his security. His security was carrying gun. He knew about that, actually. And the issue about his party, Musa Bility, and that of Louis Brown, what they have brought to him, everything just not looking right. The chances of getting a good VP candidate to spark him a little bit, it's not even in the radar. So it's hard right now.
I got one thing to say. People have been thinking he's not, but I still believe he's a very fundamental candidate in the Liberian election. He's very important. He can still he can move. Don't overlook him. I believe that the last can be the first, and I think with the Cummings still formidable candidate, I think all parties have their own little wrangling. We look at the CDC now and the NPP going through all the different stuff right now. So I think with the coming age, and I don't want to believe that he's down. I think they're up. They got their own way of doing things, and we're looking forward to see this election. And that's what I always say, and I always say every day. At the end of the day, other people come out, they got the winning number. Another party will say they got the winning number. But at the end of the day, the Liberian people will surely produce.
No, we know that the Liberian people will vote. We know that it's only about the Liberian people. But when you go on the street, Dr. Peabody, you part of Spoon, your network, the Fabric FM, Super FM, Spoon FM, they go out there and ask the Liberian folks, why can't they come out and say, yes, we'll vote for Mr. Cummings? Why he's at -1, 2? Well, it's something now. We've been saying this since the beginning of 2022. Oh, let's wait. Oh, let's get to it. And it's getting serious though. But here we are. Listen, 2023 knocking on our door, knocking. And yet and still you go on the street. Who are the ghosts? Who are those that are hiding, that say they will vote for Cummings and they can't show face? I mean, if you will vote for this man, say it. If you get the support, say it. Look at the rally, man. Less than 3,000 folks. In most rally, though. So, Dr. Peabody, again, I will ask you, do you have a ghost voters out there that hiding themselves, say only on election day they will come out to vote for Mr. Cummings?
Well, I don't know, Stanton. I know we may have conducted polls and stuff like that, but that's not even 2% of the population of Liberia on those polls that we have conducted. So it's a possibility, that there are a lot of people out there, I mean, we probably didn't go in the coming era where most of his support.
Where is the coming era? Let's say the guy.
I don't know.
But are you downplaying the poll that we conduct every day?
I mean, I'm not, but I think I want to stand by my judgment that Mr. Cummings is still a very strong
No, I
candidate.
agree. That's your belief. But what I'm saying is that. But what I say is that if you send your guys out there, Dr. Peabody, and they're asking folks on the street, the name George Weah, Joseph Yema Boakai, Tewon Gonglo, why not the Cummings? Well, no. Let us just talk about this. I'm not saying that the Liberians will not vote. I'm not saying that, well, you say maybe we didn't send them in the Cummings camp. Please direct us. Where is the Cummings camp?
Well, I'm going to say that Vice President Boakai, Tewon Gonglo, Cummings, they are all strong foes to lead Liberia. They all are very strong leaders.
But where's the Cummings camp, though? We understand that. Where's the Cummings camp? Because
everybody have their own camp. Everybody have their own camp.
Where's the Cummings camp?
Cummings camp is in Liberia. They're based in Liberia.
Where? Where?
I mean, around the country. It's not a specific.
That's where the guys goes. That's to Peabody, and nobody can call Cummings name.
Well, I don't believe in 2 or 3 persons can determine that the Cummings.
No, there's not 2 or 3 persons. When you do that to Peabody, so yeah, in America, right?
Let's do a scientific poll.
What do you call a scientific poll? So you're not respecting the spoon poll that to Peabody? In America, yeah, they take a cell phone, they call, they take a landline, they call. You go to Pennsylvania, New Jersey, all over. They don't talk to 1 million people that you Peabody. They talk to 100, 150 the most. And that's how they do polling that to Peabody. This been happening in Liberia forever. You cannot say that I'm gonna do a scientific polling. You go on the street on the day that nobody know you coming. You ask the people that to Peabody, if election is today as it stands, who will you be voting for? So you mean nobody can call the name Cummings? And now you call it for scientific poll.
So there have been people calling Mr. Cummings' name. I mean,
but you've been following the whether Spoon or different network, you've been following that to Peabody. Let's be fair to Liberians tonight. If you are out there voting for Cummings, come on and say, yeah, I will vote for Cummings. Why you have your face?
That's just an opinion poll.
Exactly.
We still got a whole year for election to be held. It's a strong. I mean, I still believe Cummings, Boakai, Gonglo, they are a strong candidate. Right now, I would not take the opinion poll.
Oh, so right now you will not take the opinion poll?
I would not.
You're a joker, man. You will not take opinion poll.
Joker.
Ron, we talk about opinion poll. You say right now you will not.
Right now,
but no. You got listen, guys. Listen, let me say that before I go to too many. My dear friend and brother Peabody, you need to understand. They don't election 2020 December. He had the momentum. Every corner the guy went, it was DeLong. CDC saw it coming. They felt within themselves that, well, maybe this is a fake. They were sounding like you. But you know why? They don't beat them. If you know you voted for Mr. Cummings, come out. But you said, well, they didn't go to the Mr. Cummings camp. Where's the Mr. Cummings camp? It's laughable, brother. But let's go to Centumani George. Centumani George, maybe we got to settle on this. We're going to talk about the current issue, but I like how we get into the conversation. Yeah, and I like that to Peabody, man. Come on, this guy is a good guy. He's going to be a bishop in the next 72 hours.
I'll give it to you. You take off for me.
I will be at the ceremony that to Peabody. I will attend.
I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you.
I will ask the guys to drum in where 10. Georgie, so let's agree that we're on Spoon, right? The guys went out. And guess what happened? You said it the other day. We were in Liberia. You, Georgie, you said it. Why we're not hearing the Cummings name? They said, wait. Imagine that was January, February, though. And yet and still, the name is just going dim. It's dead. And now they are getting frustrated and angry. They are insulting, taking on to Facebook. And everybody that have come around Cummings, it's like they are not helping him. They must defend themselves first before talking about Cummings. They are condescending. They feel that they know it all. They know too many books, like we say in Liberia. and it's destroying them. Their output, folks are rejecting their output, and it's contributing to why they are leaving Cummings. Because if you don't say hello and thank you and please to Fagon, and you look at Fagon and say, no, you illiterate Fagon. You look at Fagon and say, no, you're not my type. I cannot sit on the table with you. You look at Fagon and you condemn Fagon. So Fagon and his people will turn to Cummings and say, then you are not my leader either. Because look at the folks around you. Why Cummings' name stay in the dark when he's making this opinion poll?
Listen to this. You know, politics. When it comes to election, they have phases. Right now, when the parties need the national campaign team, which they have not, nobody have done it yet though. The national campaign team of the various parties.
Let me write that down. Let me write that one down. National campaign team.
And when they announce the national campaign team, the team that will be going on the campaign show, what they will tell you this person is a national campaign spokesperson, the national campaign senior advisor. When they set their teams up and so forth, you get to spend it. They come with the VP picks. You get to see the team in full swing. Okay. And if anybody does think that the ANC that have a lot of financial resources and logistics to their advantage, they're sitting down doing nothing, and they're gonna just continue to just go and get the same numbers they had the last election, will make a mistake. But there's a reason why every conversation people are noticing on most of the platform, Cummings needs dominates, and we have a title, the politician that the most attacked politician for 2023, 2022. It was Cummings.
Is that part of our title though?
I said I hope somebody can come up with that stuff. People get it because he was the most attacked political politician in 2022. Everybody went after this guy, and there's a reason why people still going after him every day. But they say he's the least guy. But I will say this though, in Liberia, our politics, right? And I'll be honest with you. For instance, if I'm a businessman, if I'm doing business with the government, you expect me to go and if I'm an ANC supporter to come up publicly, you try it, they will undermine you. I mean, Moda went through on a thing where he supported Boakai in the 2020 election. When it came a time when the CDC took power, they went after Moda. The business went down. I think recently he pick up. So, and most of the people will tell you they're doing business and so forth, but it's like we won't come up because we can't come up right now to come and show ourselves. You know, people funny, even to the point where if you have a shop of a restaurant, so when they will tell you, say, "Oh, I see you. You going to opposition restaurant? You going to opposition restaurant? You see it?"
But Sintumane,
George. But for anybody to say that Cummings is not relevant and his name is not there,
Sintumane George. George.
Yeah.
We are not talking about business negotiation.
Yeah.
We are not talking about you carrying your business and selling and say, come. No. We are not talking about investment. No. We are talking about the people, the common people, right? Okay. You asked that question. You asked ANC folks that question. You said,
I'm honest with you today. Today, it is true. All the polls I see on radio and other things, George Weah and Boakai dominates the polls, which is true. I've seen it, okay? And there's no, I'm also, to be very objective and honest, most of you see the names you're hearing dominating the political arena, you're about George Weah, Boakai. But I believe the ANC, I'm sure they are trying to make inroads to reach to that point. But it is true that they are state, if you consider them the chair place today, yes. But Gonglo is also campaigning every day.
No, it's not Gonglo now. We're not talking about Gonglo. Let's take them by name.
Yeah.
Let's finish with Cummings first. Because I agree. Thank you for being objective. Unlike our brother Peabody that want to play around in circle, you are saying the right thing. Because we went to Liberia. You posed a question to them. They said, wait and see. We will come up with the tag team. We engage the people. We add more cars to our convoy. We will drive or we will make the name. Yet, today is the 29th of December. We are about to enter 2023. If you go on the street, the name Cummings It's nowhere. When you ask 20 folks, you're lucky if you get one person say, I will vote for Cummings. We need to ask these hard questions. It's not about a radio station. Every radio station network out there have done their own polling. On the way to the folks, they went out there and they asked questions. Let's say the truth. Cummings may have money. Cummings bring people around like news ability here and there. But something about this thing is not going down well with the people. Are you saying the Liberian people that are suffering, that they say the people suffering, they're scared to say we vote for Cummings?
No, but on a serious note, I mean, we'll keep on. We're gonna debate it all night. We cannot say Cummings' name is not ringing in Liberia too. I mean, but we'll
go to the polling. The people that they ask, we gonna play that. Over 35 individuals, and Cummings came one person say I will vote for Cummings. Are you despising those things?
No, I'm saying too that, as I said earlier, it is true that George Weah and Boakai names are the most dominant on the political arena because their name keep on popping, all right? But Cummings' name is also in the conversation too. But we will not say that he's dying. I will not say that.
No, but yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's right. It's good, 100%. Don't say
they need to do a better job.
My question thank you for coming to this point before we bring in Fagon.
Yeah.
Why are they struggling now? Let's be truthful to the Liberian people. Why are they look at 10 more months to the election and they stay struggling? Why you think?
Now, that's what I'm saying. They need to do a better strategy because to make the impact. Like for instance, I believe the national chairman of the ANC, I think he's one of the big problem too. You can never hear him having a press conference. Never hear him addressing the press. Never hear him engaging the people. Even the youth chairman. They need to do a job because the youth chairman, once the youth chairman addressing youth engaging the youth population of the country, they need to do a better job. It's true. When it Cummings, so now here Cummings, a lot of too, and I put many who really making a case for them out there. But most of the time, the people you expect to be helping, they are not really doing it. And I believe that I hope and pray that they can act sooner than later because time is of essence. They got to really recalibrate and put the right people in place to start moving.
I like that. You're right. Helping. So guys, after this Cummings conversation, we got to hold on to all because we'll be grading them tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday. We'll be making that statement. So after Cummings, we're gonna go and talk about Joseph Boakai, who was in Nimba.
Oh yeah,
we'll talk about Joseph Boakai, and we'll talk about CDC. What is going on with the CDC? CDC, the big CDC. James is running away with NPP. Madam Joa Howard Taylor is in Bon County. Something is not right. What's the president thinking about this? We'll discuss all of them today. But let's stick with the comments. And let's bring in our brother Eugene Lamy Fagon. Brother Fagon, thank you again for joining Spoon. Something caught our eyes today. Jefferson Koji threw something out there, and the Cummings ANC folks fell for it. All right. For me, when I saw the clip, I like, you leave Jefferson Koji alone. In less than an hour, they responded, which of course I think they are quick to put out the thin skin and lead to them. They have a backfire on them. They shouldn't have responded because Jefferson was putting out a bit, and they went for the bit. Let's talk about Cummings. January, February of this year, we're in Liberia. Too many asked Mr. Cummings, why? Your name is not out there. Mr. Cummings said, well, we're working on these things. You will see us. We'll be more forceful. We'll engage the people. Today is the 29th of December. Today is the 29th of December. What's happening? The name, if you do a polling, the name. Louis Brown said, well, he needs a scientific polling. He does not believe in the spoon poll. They're all crying with that. That's the business. Even OK FM, all the network doing the polling. But Cummings will come only 1 or 2 if you're lucky. On a good day, he reaches to 3. What's the problem? You know politics. You know Liberia politics. Don't tell me about any political leader. Let's talk about Cummings. why the name Cummings is not going down well with Liberians.
Well, thank you and good afternoon, guys. Tourmaline and Dr. Peabody, victims of the political charade from the CEO, always putting you guys on the defensive. For you to put him on the defensive, you're still sitting there looking at him. The best way to defend is to attack, and so he uses that tactic. He come up and attack you guys, you get on the defensive, then there's no way to attack him. However, I need your help in answering my question, CEO. Joseph Boakai went to Nimba. Just in 2 sentences, tell me what happened there.
We get to Joseph Boakai.
No, just help me. You're helping me to answer my question. You just
no. Make your point. We get to Joseph Boakai.
Let me answer the question too.
No. Man, I forgot you messing with. Don't fall for that. Don't fall for that. You're messing with Fagon. Let's talk about Cummings.
No, but forgot my answer.
Sweetness is in my answer. You asked me a question.
My answer.
Answer, please.
Joseph Boakai made an unannounced visit to Kampala and Boakai today, and within the twinkle of an eye, he got the crowd came up. Okay. In other words, it shows his popularity. It shows that he's a familiar person on the political scheme.
Thank you.
Yes.
To answer your question, starting with the Jefferson Koji saga.
Clip.
In politics, we have distractionary tactics. If I know that CEO did something today, and everybody will talk about CEO and his kindness, his generosity, his businesses, and his ability to discuss the issues and all of that, I can easily say, do you all know what happened today to Dr. Peabody? He was arrested in Greenville, South Carolina. The charges are still pending. Everybody will forget about you and start running to see what happened with Peabody. We create distraction when we don't want people to focus on the achievement of our opponents. What Jefferson Koji did today was a complete distractionary tactic. He did not want anybody to hear anything about the Boakai unannounced visit to Nimba. He thought it would have created some pandemonium within the political landscape. So what did he do? The crowd pulling out for Joseph Boakai today in Nimba versus ANC is in talk with the CDC, trying to get over. What do you think people are interested in? Now you yourself, from 3 o'clock to 4:30, you have spent 1 hour, 30 minutes on this distractionary tactic too.
That's not correct. We just got on the show, brother.
No, you just came. The other people were here, they were talking about all the people who can't regularly.
Forgot make a salient point because the news would have dominated the news today. So, Koji said, let me bring anything up to conflict. Yeah, but I agree with you.
It became news.
GMB would have dominated the news today.
ANC talking about them for you. ANC, we forget about what happened in Nimba Street. I think Jefferson Koji and others are learning from me. They're learning very fast, and I applaud them. I remember when the president was taking bullets the first year in his government from all over protests and everything. I wore underwear, black underwear, and I turned my Kengo hat around, a whole minister, put my foot in the water and fire. They posted locally useless ministers. See the other man here. But I was taking the bullets for the president, and the president had a smooth ride through. You see, when you say, where is Cummings, to answer that part, Cummings bought a team, but he did not buy the players. He saw an underperforming team, all the way to the bottom of the league, CEO. He said, I will spend my money and buy this team. So he bought a team from the likes of Kwame Clement, Yemukai, Pedro Costa, and others. He bought the team from them. Instead of from Messi, Ronaldo, Neymar, and Sadio Mane, and then he didn't do it. So he continued with a team in the league. And he's struggling at the bottom of the league to get up. He has the finances. He has the money. He has the bank account. But every time they say, we need defender, he say he wants Harry Maguire. Every time they say he wants striker, he say he wants some kind of player from outside the Bundesliga. You don't do that in politics. If you come in outside, let me give you a classic example. And I'm not trying to blow his trumpet. 2 people came outside as politicians. Amara Kone in Bapolu. When he showed face, he made it difficult for others to show face. When Maggie showed face in Magidi, the only thing people could say, don't vote for a criminal. But nobody else could show face. When you calm down, so that you make it difficult for other people. 70,000 going in the breeze. You don't have an FM station. You don't have a television station where all day on the television show station, you showing African music, African movies. But any late time, it's Alexander Cummings, what he would do. So people who watching your TV station, they're forced to listen to what you would do. Nothing. You don't have no strategist. All the people in your party looking up to CPP instead of working as ANC people. The few you send on a platform like your own, instead of coming to market you, which is sell your market, they come to force. The few, not that Dr. Francina in our world. When they come to force. What Cummings need to do is to buy players. The last thing I can tell Cummings is this. You come to Liberia and you stay doing American things, CEO. I'm being honest with you. Liberia is the place, we're not saying that it's something good to do. You driving towards town, someone speeding with motorbike coming towards you. When you stop and say, my man, what are you doing? Move on the road, man. Didn't I park at the road here? How do you respond to such person? You are in a political arena, and right now, negotiations are ongoing. That clip you got today, listen to what Barney said. He said, we are in the formative stages of the coalition document. And as time go on, we will what? Inform the public. Jeremiah Kuhn, you don't know which side he's going. Alex Tyler have not decided yet. Also, it is my understanding that Edwin Snow is trying to put together the Western Bloc so that they can campaign and vote as a bloc. Where are you in all of this? But I can tell you, if he had a strategist, he will be vigorously pursuing, negotiating with the LPDP and the NPP. I mean vigorously. When the one person say, my man, the man say, on let that man cut down with 2M, nothing can happen. But why are you running behind that man? That man disgraced you the first round. That man made your load like chicken. That man did not hire any of your people. You draw the document. I just want to have the ticket. Let's move. Call Tyler. Once Tyler comes in, and what's his name? Barney comes in, Jeremiah Kuhn come in. What do you think will happen?
But Fago, I have to cut you because I want to set that discussion for the CDC segment, please. We shouldn't move this goalpost because it is important.
In 10 seconds, Cummings bought a football team. He did not hire a coach, and he did not buy players. So he owned this team. They call this team ANCFC. But then the same players that were there, then they said go buy a player. He brought in Daniel Chair. He brought in Louis Brown. He brought in Toga. Those are not bad players. I'm concluding now, and I'm telling you, take it seriously. But they are old players. Very old players. And he said he came with change. He's the fresh kid on the block. Then you go bring Ronaldo there, Maguire. You didn't see Vinicius there?
So Fabio, let pause you because you were destroyed the entire conversation. You're a bad dude. We know where you're coming from. You're not a nice guy.
I'm a politician by excellence.
Especially when you have eaten your GB, that Ghanaian food that was prepared for you, six different type of meal. Wow, that was powerful. I'm not going to say.
Keke with Shita I ate today, but
wow.
Keke with Shita and mackerel.
It's in the car.
We're gonna food?
Kenke, Ghanaian kenke with Shita and mackerel.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite food.
I'm talking about.
Yes.
My man, so let's leave the food business because I'm already hungry. We gotta go eat, so you don't do
Every
this.
day you eat
They
the
man ate the
toilet where you shiny.
kenge with the pepper on the side and the microfiche and everything. Good for you, Fago. And I in Liberia now, you saying that the people won't wish me. Let you eating looking healthy. Nobody get time for you. You
sure
enjoy
looking
yourself.
healthy?
You see, you look healthy. Maybe
You
something
don't
else
know.
we don't know.
Because when you look like this, when politics soak in you, not like the other politicians you see looking weak. When the politics inside you, you get fat from it.
Oh, wow. But let's do this, guys. The reason why we asked about this Cummings thing is very important. I know we come to JMB. He had an unannounced visit in Nimba. We'll talk about CDC and this whole NPP issue. It's getting ugly. The CDC and the NPP. Then when you start talking about MDR, let's talk. No, I know what they're talking because Ben was on the show. Now Ben is not on. I will talk.
We were talking yesterday. I was in watching.
It's getting ugly. Let's talk about this here. Fagon, you raised a very unique point, Fagon, right? The issue that you raised, that Mr. Cummings bought a team for the worst player. And I will also add, he also bringing in most of the worst players out there. Not only that he met the team with PC player, but those that he even bringing on, they are the worst.
Yeah.
They are not winning. They cannot win.
No, but every player get it.
Can I finish? I will come to you, my brother.
Okay.
They cannot win. Under this dispensation, this time frame. You want to tell me you're going to bring somebody that will look at another person and say, I'm better than you? You know how many individuals behind that person that you point into and say, I'm better than you? But then you want them to go vote for you, though. And everything you do every day is like, I'm better than you. You bring it out of a two Liberia system. Say what you want to say, Fagon. How can Cummings recruit a goal-scoring player? People that will hit the net. He tried Louis Brown. Louis Brown failed him. Immediately, Louis Brown came on and said, where is Daniel Che? Nobody can see Daniel Che no more. Where is our Opa, Macintosh, Toga, my papa? Disappeared. No, say what you want to say. We can call their names. It's like you brought them on and said, Tim Cummings. They hit and they retreated. So this issue happening is that I will ask you, Fagon, in 10 seconds, please. I got to go to Thomas and George. Do you think there's still hope for Mr. Cummings?
There's more than hope for Cummings. Cummings need to take out his turbo suit, put his stake down, take out that white suit, and get in the dirty jeans trousers. And nobody should see him going to the creek. They should just see him coming from there dirty. If you know what that means, you know. You can't be clean. You bring your American thing, you will go by it. I keep warning him. Because everything about our politics does not happen during the day. When everybody go to bed, between 11:30
and 3, 4 in the morning,
that's when everything happens under the cover of darkness. And you need to be set on certain things, which I cannot reveal, but you need to be set on it. Move like Nicodemus at night.
So I'll hold you right there real quick. Has Musa ability helped common sense?
To some extent, yes. He brought Cummings back into the limelight. But then when Cummings brought in Louis Brown, Bilete went and cut the generator off.
Wow.
He brought, and I repeat myself, he brought Cummings into the limelight. He showed Cummings to the Liberian people. But when Cummings brought in Louis Brown, Bilete cannot come here and lie like some kind of Arabian chicken to say he didn't feel bad. He felt bad. So he went back to the generator hall, cut the generator up, put a key in his pocket, and walk away.
Guys, we're going to go to the phone line real quick and ask the Liberian people whether it is too late for Mr. Cummings.
It's not too late.
Yeah, but listen, we got to ask our people. Our people
got to play right.
If it is not too late, then how can Mr. Cummings redeem himself? We will open the phone line and speak to Liberia because it is important. Rufus, come on, but let's go to Chief Sintuman and George. Make your point, my brother.
Yeah,
Pay good money, I will tell you.
just take in mind they put out. I'm sorry, if they for UP, then they will say lit. The CDC they will say lit.
It's open phone line.
But back to the issue, though. Eugene raised a good point. On a serious note, ANC, like I would say, they have the resources. They should be going after influential politicians that's not in favor of the government. To go after them and get them home. Try to get the best. Go in the counties. Recruit the best politicians who you know they are not in favor of the government. Try to get them on board. Politics is it's a game. You gotta play. Get the best players on your team. And now, concerning the people you're calling bad players, now I'll just throw this in the mix for a second. You think that what happened in the NPP?
No, we said about. We said it good, but
what happened in NPP at this point? You think it just happening normally?
We will come to the NPP.
Okay.
We'll discuss the NPP.
Because politics, you might have people who knows the game of politics. Okay, and all the time we talk behind the scene. I say, look, as the time.
I sense your frustration, Tumani.
I'm frustrated. I'm from the party.
I sense your frustration. No, Tumani. By the way, let me introduce Tumani again. He's my brother-in-law. He married to my.
Just say what you want to say. I'll tell you this.
Let me finish. No, I sense your frustration.
I'm frustrated.
The thing is that you still giving them coded messages out there, but they are not yielding to your message. They are not yielding to your message because it's something about
Gateway, Louis Brown. These are smart politicians. Okay,
they used to be smart. They are
smart. And guess what will happen? Every time Louis Brown open your mouth, the government can go after him.
But that leave Louis Brown conversation for you, man. I think that people are coming and help them.
But let me say this.
Louis Brown from Chastity Town, he's done. He's finished. Louis Brown, nobody listen to Louis Brown.
Well, let me say this.
Louis Brown is done.
Let me say this.
Hold on, Dr. P, but I beg you, my brother. I know you guys wanted to moderate the show today, but sorry that I was told quietly to hijack this position from you. Louis Brown, no, I beg you.
Yeah, put the right players in place. That's true, though. That way,
but that's the thing. Yes, the thing, Georgie. Not that he's not looking at the right players. When he brings his right players, he got few folks around him pushing away from the right players, and they're fighting thing. Like you can trust them. Like I gotta be the eye for Mr. Cummings. Mr. Cummings, that's my daddy. Mr. Cummings play Coca-Cola. Mr. Cummings coming to take over Liberia. And he will bring the sky, the moon, and the sun down. They do not have the message. And they push some good folks away. And they're doing it continuously. That's my point. I sense your frustration. From Liberia, you asked them the question. You asked them, why Mr. Cummings is not out there? Every day you make the case for ANC. But ANC themselves is their own problem. And everything we know from day one, Charlie Quintan, Mr. Cummings have the money, yes. Mr. Cummings have international backing, yet. Mr. Cummings is not Madame Salif. Mr. Cummings cannot be Madame Salif. And if Mr. Cummings, as we enter the new year, fail to spark, there will be a trouble. But let's bring that to Peabody, my dear doctor.
Let me say this.
Peabody, I want to know that quick, yeah?
Yeah.
Now, stand on. When the parties have selected their ticket, right? When the tickets when all the tickets have been selected.
That's what you're waiting for now. But the beginning, I was saying about selecting ticket though. Fago, you see how the guy can behave? When we're in Liberia, the master Mr. Cummings in there. Now he won't wait for Mr. Cummings to get ticket. I understand your frustration.
They come up with a ticket, and then they need the national campaign team.
Judge,
you got to see now where it's okay. See what are the strength, where they got.
Judge, I understand your frustration. The first thing you said, national campaign team. Now you're praying for a ticket, but man, it's done. It's over.
How about just go?
Ready? It's done.
Right now, CEO, the transfer window is open.
Exactly.
CDC cannot say they own NPP or LPDP. Jeremiah Kuhn have not gone yet. Nobody not pick any other
Yeah,
side.
but we are not on that side yet. You want us together? Let's wait for the good data.
But the
This
transfer
man
window open,
that
so
man
wait.
gonna be a bishop in the next few days. Let's wait for him,
Well,
please.
well, no,
Bishop
probably
Peabody.
not going to be. Probably not. I don't want to be. I don't want to be the ordinary bishop. Then I come here around here every second they say the bishop or something.
Yeah,
I don't want to be part of that. I will not be a bishop. But let me say this. My friend Falcon talk about the old people. There's old people
They
that
experienced, but they're too old for the game now.
They're too old for the game. But look at
So they
both
gotta be in
parties.
the back. They can't
But
be in
look
the
at-
front.
If they were not experienced, why is CDC jumping behind the old people today for NPP? Why they're running behind them? Why they running behind other political parties?
Peabody,
In the game?
Peabody, I think you should stick. You can stick with the bishop thing. It will help you.
No, you stick with
Stick with the
it. You
bishop
were
thing.
pastor before.
Because
Well,
that's the
listen,
issue here.
But
listen,
Peabody, I can
that.
answer for myself. Oh.
No, let me
How many
answer.
NPP people you see in front of the CDC team?
Give me a chance. That Cyril Allen then would be the people with a new game. They got a new game.
Do you see them in front?
So yes,
Do
the
you see
matter
them?
here.
Answer my question.
But you gotta
Do you
answer
see
my
them in
question.
front?
Have you seen Cyril Allen on the campaign trail?
Do you see Siri Allen?
They are key players in the NPP.
Exactly.
Away from the back.
Have you
Away
seen?
from the back.
Have you seen Cyril Allen?
Pardon. There's no way you can tell me that other political parties don't have old players. All of them do. The thing
Well,
is,
you know why? You know why? Dr. Peabody.
all of them
Dr.
do.
Peabody. That's the issue.
It's not happening in NPP.
Why we saying we're not to
Say-
NPP yet, guys?
Is a
Guys,
number-
y'all will not rush us to NPP.
Yeah, but
They're not saying that you cannot have some senior player.
Oh, yeah,
They
infiltrate
call
and
that
disrupt.
senior player, right?
They can
Well,
infiltrate and disrupt.
in Liberia, behind MTA, they have the Eagles team. The senior player there, they'll go on the bench, they serve as a advisor, help the coach make decisions. But the mistake, and one of the worst things Mr. Cummings did in his political life, it will hurt him, to bring Louis Brown and the rest of them. And this, Mr. Cummings, it would be. Let me finish.
I disagree.
And let me say this, right?
Move the brain.
But let me finish now. You can say your
Blue
own.
Brian's
now.
a good
But you
politician.
can say your own.
NPP.
But Timothy George, let me finish, brother, please. Again, as I said, I understand your frustration. I mean, we wish to the bishop to pray for you. But let me say that, Fagon.
You're a pastor, you can pray. So go pray.
Fagon.
You keep that man as a pastor. Then you telling me I'm not the bishop. That's how you switch.
But
I never keep as a pastor. I never keep as a pastor. I came as a hustler, not a pastor. Yeah, I'm not a pastor, my man. They try to get me. I said no. Go and finish with me, yeah. I'm not going to be like Peabody and be pastor, no. But let me say this to you, Fagon. And to tell you the truth, the day Louis Cummings announced Louis Brown, Daniel Chie, our own auntie Judy Cassell, Josh Wisner, announced my own papa, Toga, back in touch, the doctor himself. I knew they was going for trouble. I knew Cummings was going straight into the dish because you know why? Folks that were on the other side supporting Cummings, you know that CPP that they were creating, the Liberty Party folks, they were so angry. They asked Ben. They said, hell no, don't put my name on that tag team. Ben refused.
Oh, Ben told you?
But man, I mean, make my case by Becky back.
But ain't you here with Ben in cars?
But let me make my case. They asked him, Ben, why we can't put you down on the tactic team? Ben said no. And Ben said, I regret my endorsement.
Wow.
So Ben didn't say that.
So remember, can I do this? And Ben can come on the show he will talk for himself.
No, Ben ain't say that one.
And Ben will come talk for himself.
So you talk for
we're taking all of them will pass on home. So at the end of the day, guys, let me say this, Fagon. It's important to note that was Cummings' mistake. That was Cummings' mistake. Louis Brown, 1996, 95, 97, 98. That was Louis Brown. Or New Age. or new folks. The young have grown. They have come to the understanding. Louis Brown cannot change any mind. And because of those things, Mr. Cummings, when you get on the street, you remain as 1, 2. Will you vote for Mr. Cummings? No. Who will you vote for? George Manawia or Joseph Yima Boakai? Say what you want to say. We know what we discuss in the back. When we talk to these folks, let me tell you something. A guy from Nimba, I will not call his name, but he's from Nimba. He said they would try to get Jeremiah Cohn. They would not get Jeremiah Cohn. And it will hurt ANC. And when ANC settle for the VP, that will be the end of ANC. Because there's nobody out there to help Mr. Cummings spark him. Nobody. They depend on Jeremiah Cohn. It won't work. They're trying. They're negotiating. Musa Benete is assuring them. They try Yombly. There's something still going on that is not right. They don't have this to himself. So you know that one will go one way. Now he's coming to Jeremiah Cohn.
So you think JMB went to EGB in Nima today, really?
But please, let's go to the JMB conversation. You're making my point now.
You think JMB went to Nima to EGB and come up with her?
How many people in Nima County that JMB so talk to? When you get the Jeremiah Cohn, the Tewon Gonglo, and all of them. But talk to us, Fagon. Let's wrap this thing up. We'll open the floor.
Let me wrap this thing up by saying, if you think these guys are inexperienced politicians, then you're joking. They are very experienced politicians. Exactly. They are all hands in the business. But you see, Cummings' matchup did not match or appeal to his own memory or his messages. Cummings was the new kid on the block with change. But then Cummings went and matched up a whole group of old politicians. That wasn't a bad move, but they should have been placed in the strategy room, using young and effective guys. Now, let me tell you this. One of the most crafted politicians we have in our country is a man who have blended politics with militancy or military science, if you like, for a better word. And that's Prince Johnson. You think Prince Johnson just gave out a political thing for nothing? You may say, oh, he's not capable because they say nobody should do business with him. But you and I know that Jeremiah Cohn is the son of Prince Johnson. Yep. Secondly, I'll tell you this. Prince Johnson looked like Pontius Pilate, or whatever you call his name. He sent for the bowl of water, and that the people there all was standing there. Right now, he washed his hand. Who said they would support George Weah and Prince Johnson? What did Jeremiah Cohn say? Jeremiah Cohn, the new political leader, said, unless we're able to meet up, we're not going your way. So Prince Johnson's commitment is not Jeremiah Cohn's commitment. So Jeremiah Cohn had left an open playing field. That's why Boakai said, let me go up there to EGB. Cohn is still sitting in Monrovia. But what will happen tomorrow morning if you hear that Cummings, Jeremiah Cohn, Nyombli, and Prince Moi have reached an agreement? I said 4 people with Joseph Boakai. What do you think is going to happen? You expect Vani Shemo from Cape Man, the top UPP operative, to join CDC? Not going to happen. You expect Edwin Snow, an old NPP and UP stalwart, to continue to shout? What happens if LPDP go their way? What happens if Jim Barney say, Yote Jewel, we're going this way? Right now, I can tell any Liberian in my closing statement to this. Time. 60 days from now. Chan can play. That info.
Okay.
Right now, as I speak to you, 60 days will determine who going where, what's coming where, who's taking who not taking who. We will know. And that's the time the ball will get ready to play. At the same time, you look at your own brother Fagon. and say, I can't believe you, Fagon. I'm surprised at you.
But Fagon, you got. I know you take sign election, so we know that one.
So
but I'm not supposed to take side.
Oh, I know, right?
No, I'm not taking side in the election. If I go with take side,
I'll be independent.
I would
move my way independent.
Then later on again, he was why again?
He independent. Then he this
active. I think active, independent right now.
Then why are you independent? You inactive. You sitting there. You can be independent.
No, but I changed it to independent now.
Oh, you change it?
Independent now.
Who changed it?
But Fagon, you say some good things. The fact of the matter that right now, if we sit down and things say the people not talking, things happening at night. People meeting in different countries. People meeting in different places. Lots of things taking place. All the parties are talking.
CEO got all the NPP
talking. Yeah, Liberia party talking. They're having a discussion.
I saw NPP press conference today. I put my hand on my head.
NPP press conference, right?
I put my hand on my head.
All right, guys. Let's make the show interesting now. We're finished with the comments. You guys have any final comment, any question? We're opening the phone line, take 10 calls real quick, and we'll go to NPP discussion.
My final comment to Cummings.
Rufus, can you come on real quick? Go ahead, Fagon.
My final comment to Cummings is, now your tall suit you get on, take it off. Liberian politics is not for white suit. If you don't want to get dirty, come back to America. Liberian politics is dirty.
My final comment is that on the issue is that I know people are talking, and if you are following Liberian politics, you know that they will come into the election year. By March, April, we get to see the real. That's why sometimes I won't say much because I don't want tomorrow and I say, oh, if I know I shouldn't have said it, because I know that come to March, April, we'll see the whole landscape taking shape. Once the people come up with a ticket and they need a national campaign team, we're gonna know now where they're heading at. Because right now we just gotta keep on playing it and watching it from a distance.
Yeah, my final comment for Mr. Cummings, I think keep doing what you're doing. The time will come, we'll see, and the Liberian people decide who they want to be the president. But I believe whoever he brought in as his team, I think they vetted those people and have confidence. And those people, Toga McIntosh, Louis Brown, those are great people when it comes to Liberian politics. And I believe at the end of the day, the people will decide.
Thank you. My final thoughts before we open the phone line, and I will say this to all our fellow Liberians out there. Those guys, they are old schools. Toga McIntosh, Louis Brown, the rest of them, Mrs. Cummings, should have accepted them as advisor, put them on the advisory board. They should have never become the face of ANC. No, we're not hearing you, Fago.
I said, Musa Belete say I should tell you, 60 days from now, just as I told you, you will see.
Yeah, we understand Musa Belete. We'll see from which end. But we want to say it's very important, and you know, that listen, George Bush said this, and he made a mistake while saying it. Fool me once. You remember that? Sent him money. And then So, Mr. Cummings, there will be no reason why folks should fool you. You're a smart guy. But because you have settled for the likes of Louis Brown, Toga McIntosh, you are going down very fast.
Yeah.
You are going down very fast. Mama, I got to get my final thought now, please. Liberians, we want to hear you. If you say you will vote for Mr. Cummings, say it. When the guys go out there, they ask, say it. The first thing they say, oh, they didn't go to Mr. Cummings' area. But why is Mr. Cummings' area? You cannot identify a place to call Mr. Cummings' area. Oh, no, not Mr. Cummings' camp. Where is Mr. Cummings' camp? Now, tomorrow said we got to vote for national campaign team. The team Cummings, not a national campaign team, we agree. But the faces will be there. No. Let's wait for his vice president selection. Stay kicking the can down the road. Guys, it's a Cummings' chances. He blew it. He said, representative, no. Senator, no. Vice president, no. That's not how it works in Liberia. And he wants to change it, but he's changing it the wrong way. So my final thoughts going into the new year, if Mr. Cummings cannot recalculate, change some of the folks around him that are so immature, condescending, hustlers around him, 70,000 going in the breeze. How can you have folks like that around you and you're so good? They are destroying Mr. Cummings. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to believe it. It's up to them. But they are destroying Mr. Cummings. And this would be a bad day for Mr. Cummings. They will go on the social media outlet. They will say what they want to say. They will go on other podcasts and make the case. The Liberian people, they are getting tired of the name Cummings. They want this election to come and come fast for them to decide. Because Mr. Cummings is not the change he professed to be. From 2015 to now, Mr. Cummings have gone way down. Way down. People, from 2000, let me finish. The people are so concerned.
I don't see nobody get drafted.
Let me finish real quick. Everybody get a closing now. Let me do my closing real quick.
Your question taking too long.
They're taking too long.
All right. So at the end of the day, guys, it's important. All right. I beg you, Centurion George. I beg you. Somebody, I know you are frustrated too many. You want to help Cummings, but they are not helping themselves. So Liberians, if you listen to us on the radio station, we're going to get better. And we're going to tell you this though. If you think you're going to vote for Mr. Cummings this election, if you think he's doing well, my question to you, why is Mr. Cummings, people are afraid to announce that they're voting for Mr. Cummings?
Can I answer that question quickly in 10 seconds?
I beg you, I didn't know we got to go to the phone line.
Okay, in 10 seconds, let me tell you something. Cummings voters or partisans are what you refer to like in America as blue-collar voters. They're the most highly educated, he has the most professionals, and he has the most wealthy Liberians on his side. They're not the guys walking and saying, orange data, blue star data, recharge your phone. That's not Cummings voters.
I miss it. Who are Cummings voters? I miss you when you're saying that.
They are what you call the blue-collar voters.
You guys
the most
like
educated, the most highly professionals, the wealthiest. They are Cummings voters. They're in their offices, they own companies, they're college graduates. He lives among those people. Nobody can
It's not helping him. It's not helping him.
No, wait, now you say, why can't we see those people? Those people are not to attach shot easily. They're not on the street selling booster data, recharge your phone. Buy your buy your none of these people.
But one of my friends right now.
Thank you, too many.
No, fuck off.
Let him finish. Yeah, come on.
So when you get down on the street, most of those people you will meet in the hub of the city are what? The downtrodden masses. They are either with a JMB or with
CDC.
Because the message from Cummings camp does not jive easily with those people. And so the sooner we can get to recalibrate, reorganize, re-strategize, and put the message to the people that will see them believing that they can be rescued, then of course you will see them gravitating.
You know what?
I think that's a good friend.
No, one at a time, guys. One at a time. You talk about white collar voters, so that's not the friend.
One of my friends right now, right? He visiting in Liberia for the Christmas. He in Boakai listening to the show. He said, some old lady around here right now. They said, who the man talking about coming every day? Man, the man. What do you want the man talking about every day about the man? Sunday about the man. You see what we're doing now? We promoting coming now. They put the man. I get in Boakai.
Exactly.
You see it? Some people talk about the man. They say, who the man talking about every day? So
we got to only ask. We got to only ask who the man talk about. So the guy.
Listen to the show. And the older asking
let's go to the full line. Let's go to
as well. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But let me say this, if I go, I believe Liberians going to decide like that the people always say. But you're quite correct. Cummings voters are those people that cannot eat yogurt gari. They don't know lapabido. Cummings voters are voters that cannot eat dry rice, cannot eat cassava and coconut.
They're not Liberian.
Cummings voters, but I beg you. I mean, you don't want to, we get your chance. You get your chance, mother.
You, if you were to hold a simple in America, who are we?
Cummings voters.
If you were to hold a simple, you
But I said,
to hold it in America, who are we?
Oh, Cummings will win in America.
But you see, it
That's
depends
what I'm
on
saying.
you holding yourself.
Yeah.
Pagong.
So what we say is that at the end of the day, at the end of
reach out to the entire country. Everywhere he's been there. So you can't say that
you and Money will be in
go
it
to the
today.
Liberian who can afford the bread and butter.
And I will say this,
you.
my fellow
100%.
Liberians, if you are listening to me tonight by way of the radio, you're selling your dry rice, your roasted cassava, your farina, your sugar, you're doing your lapabido. If you listen to me tonight, you are the masses that can get tired. We'll open the phone line. I want you guys to call. Maybe you don't even have a cell phone to call, but by way, somehow you're listening to us. This is the truth. We will be fair to you. Whenever the guys go out and say, who will you vote for? People running away from the name Mr. Cummings. Because we do not ask the people in ministries. We do not ask people that get the big cars. They got to go ask people like you, the wheelbarrow boys, the Yano men, the Yano women, the people that hustle every day. Those are the people we are engaging. And Fagon, you are quite correct. That's Cummings' mistake. Let's open the phone line. We'll take 10 calls. 10 calls. Why people running away from the name Cummings? 10 calls. Why people cannot mention the name?
I think that's a wrong.
I beg you, but if you ready to moderate, you can do your own. You moderated 2 days ago.
They may get the bullet pocket now.
I got a bullet pocket. I beg you, man. I waited for this time. Somebody moderated yesterday. Everybody clap for him. Let me do my moderation.
Moderator today. Why are you talking for him?
No, he said I should do it. That's what he said. So, Rufus, open the phone line. What's going on with Cummings? What's going on with Cummings?
I
beg you, don't cut them off. We'd like to engage them. We'd like to talk to them. Don't cut them off, please.
0777 1075 0555 10.
Guys, if you're calling me, I will not answer. We're taking calls from Liberia, not on my cell phone. I beg you, Uncle Pete, I cannot answer you all the calls from Liberia. No, we're not taking call from you.
Hello?
No, us taking call. Everything will be from Liberia.
Hello? Good evening.
Yeah, this is Rufus King.
Let's hear you.
Rufus, not funny.
No, not there one.
Not there no slow. Hey, number B.
Not the huevo.
Oh, I'm sorry to yell. Cummings, tell what?
When it comes to Cummings,
yeah.
Cummings have last chance is to become a vice president. That's the only hope Cummings got for now. To say vice president Joseph Boakai.
Thank you, Rufus. But don't forget, text. Don't forget, Rufus. Text me. We'll talk, okay?
All right.
All right.
Throw.
I'll put you swat throw.
Hello.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening.
This is the voice of Prince Pele.
Let's hear you.
From District 5.
Let's hear you.
I like the show and I like the promotional statement coming from you people on behalf of Mr. Electoral Benedict Cummings. You know, like CEO try to preach a message that is not resonating. Why am I saying? You know, when somebody asks me why I prefer Mr. Cummings, the problem we Liberians facing is the economy. And I believe Mr. Cummings being an economist, if given the opportunity, he will perform in the best interest of Liberia. For us, Liberia, we are not going for who we elect. but we are going for who will resuscitate our economy. So we, the Cummings people, we believe in Mr. Cummings because of what
very much. We got one Mr. Cummings. Thank you very much, Colate.
So
thank you, my brother. You're always welcome. Thank you for listening to Spoon.
I thought you said that you can't talk.
Hello?
Yeah, but the man talk now. Go ahead, Rufus.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Your name and you jump from what?
Yeah. Good evening. Hello?
Go ahead.
Hello, my friend. How you doing? Talk to us.
Yeah, this is Abu Sharif.
Mr. Sharif, how are you?
Abu, just go ahead.
Yeah. This is Abu Sharif. I'm calling from Amangasi. Yeah, Amangasi Japan Freeway.
Talk to us,
Abu. Go ahead.
Like the CEO or the concept of in Liberia. In Liberia, when there's a standard or political package, when you look, Yana boy, and the paper valor, put on cancer, many small something when you forgot about them, when you look there, I saw the girl, you didn't water because these are the silent voter. Yeah, that later on, about like a rare game, you know, but you forgot about it, you know.
Thank you very much, my brother Abdul Sharif. God bless you, my friend. Let's take the third quarter.
How are you, Rufus?
Yeah, what's your name?
Okay, I'm Bernard Success Awega, and I call you from the New Jersey Belt.
Let's hear you.
Okay, you know, it's unfortunate that sometimes the Spoon FM, you know, we promote Mr. Cummings, you know, instead of like, you know, demoting him. Like in a sense, I always hear the CEO. Now, I want to say this to the CEO. CEO, if you think that Mr. Alexander Cummings is not resonating to Liberian people, no, then you are in error. Because, mind you, Liberians are observing and they know who they love. You CEO, I believe that you have interest in Liberia. The way you only discuss Cummings every day. Mind you, when you decide to come to Liberia and become president, one day you are digging your own hole. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you. You'll keep the president job, yeah? We keep our corner. Thank you.
You lost one vote.
I lost one vote.
Hello.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening. What's your name?
Thank you. This is Otis Call.
My brother Otis, how you doing?
This evening.
Otis, how are you?
Hello.
How are you? Go ahead, Otis.
Thank you so much. Thank you, CEO, for the platform.
You're welcome.
One thing I have observed is that, CEO, I believe you created the platform to sort out solutions that would lead Liberia in a better path. And but I think that you guys are still discussing platform issue instead of discussing the solution of Liberia. Because in your own words, you said that by the middle of the nearing elections, you will come down with your team and you will go all over the country to make sure educate the people on the right decision to make. So whatever you're doing today, CEO, is about Liberia interest. So I don't want us to look at the politics on the basis of popularity, context, and other stuff that we keep discussing. Oh, the person don't have. I think Liberia. Now we all are looking at Liberia, to get out of the nightmare, and that's what we should be telling the people.
So hold on, let me ask you something first.
I can deliver this country from the overdue nightmare that we continue to experience as citizens of Liberia. Instead of
I like this guy, Rufus. Let me ask you something.
We know the solution.
Hello?
You know very well. Your platform panelists know very well. So you have to hit the hammer on the head. You have to take sides. Instead of just dancing around and discussing platform issue, giving the real issue.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
listen to him. He wants to
Can you
speak
hear
out.
me? Hello?
I'm listening.
He's
Hello?
listening.
Yeah, can you hear
He's
me?
listening.
I'm listening.
Hello?
He's listening to
I want
you.
him to answer. Let him
Yeah.
answer me if you
I
can hear
think
me.
I should listen to see he's about to say something. He wanted to say something.
Go ahead.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. If you can get me, you know what you just said make a lot of sense. All right, but we got to discuss everything.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Yeah?
Just listen. The internet is trying to trip, but just listen to the conversation. CEO, go ahead.
I went. Yeah, sorry for that. I went off. We have to discuss everything, my friend. So you will follow
This
us.
is sounding very low. It's sounding very low.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I'm getting you.
Thank you very much. What's your name again?
He asking of your name.
He's asking my name?
Yeah.
Yeah, say I'm Otis Call Singer.
Okay, Otis. I hope you can hear me. We have to discuss everything, Otis. We have to discuss everyone that contested in this election. We discuss about the good, the bad, and the ugly. We have to bring the conversation.
I'm not getting you.
And you
that's
got a
okay.
receiver, right? You got a receiver?
That's
The
okay.
receiver is not on. It's switched off. I switched
Just
it off.
put it on a little. You
That's-
get
that's-
him.
I'm
That's
afraid
okay,
of the feedback. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Take the next caller. We gotta discuss JMB. Take the next caller.
Okay, I'm listening.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit. Yeah, yes, go ahead.
Thank you, Otis. What I'm saying, we have to discuss everyone, every political party, every organization. We have to discuss it. If you find folks out there saying don't discuss it, or only discuss one's political party, is wrong. And every day we will do our best to be measured in discussing the issue about the country. We'll discuss President Weah, Joseph Boakai, and Mr. Cummings, Tewan Gonglo, and every one of them. And let the Liberian people decide who is the best candidate. We know what's happening in the country, Otis. You know what's happening. You're in Liberia. And we'll make the case for the people of Liberia. So we say thank you for joining Spoon every evening and sharing this time with us. We appreciate you, Otis. Thank you a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I accept that Liberian people will decide. But my point is very clear that you know exactly what is required of a good leader, and those are things we should be discussing instead of when you say, "Oh, Cummings a good man," but yet say you're talking about popularity. You say, "Oh, Jovial he's doing well." You say, "Oh, Joseph Boakai is this man," but so you should let the hammer on the hill, on the head of the nail. That's my point.
Thank you, Otis.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Yeah, my name is Michael Williams. I'm doing things with you.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, I want to make a point. CEO, many of times when you come on the radio, that what Brother Otis was just saying, this platform was created for the Liberian people, and sometimes I believe that you need to work for the Liberian people. That's why you created the organization, because you love your country, you love the Liberian people. So the right thing should be this. Because what some of us have noticed now is that the spoon, you try to dilute the spoon. People really, some of us, we come at night, we always glued to our radio to listen to spoon talk. But many a time, you spoil the taste of the program, because the real issue to discuss, the issue that affecting the Liberian people. And one of the things that I really want to recommend to the spoon is, many a time you're taking what the discussion when we talk about getting the Liberian people, because we listen to you and we want to make our input. We are discussing many of the issues that we face in this country. Now you want to call the 10 colors. What you get a lot of thousands of people listening to it, and they want to.
But we said, yeah, my friend, Rufus, pause a bit. Pause it.
Tell you,
Pause it, Rufus.
what is happening in this country.
So we want to Rufus, let's get his attention.
Cummings
Hello?
lost his position.
Hello?
Cummings and Cummings.
So
Just
here's
listen a
the
little
issue.
bit.
So here's the issue. We're going to talk about Joseph Boakai. We're going to talk about the president, George Manawia. And we're going to take calls on each segment. We will take calls. So we're doing 10 calls right now. When we move to the next segment, we'll take another calls likewise.
So it's
but we have to
good for
discuss them all.
But the issue of Cummings that we're discussing, Cummings is decelerating every day in Liberia simply because they disorganizing of CPP. And he refused to go second to Joseph Boakai. And for that reason, the people are hating him for that. One of the key issues of Honorable Cummings, because he refused to go second. He never stepped out in Liberia politics before. He has never become country. He has not in a position in this country. And to just come from and just come and want to be president, that people we don't let people ask. You have to go into the body politics and honor the politics. Come on Joseph Boakai, who are banging the government for long and be honest, the evil that we are experiencing can move forward this country. When you say no, you can't go second to no one. So today, when Jefferson Koje came out, myself was shocked when I saw it on Facebook. And I knew that it was just a gossip. Another example, because Cummings is setting to go on anyone a second. You understand?
So my question to you, if you say those things, because we get Rufus, you know they're not hearing us. You gotta pay attention and control the phone.
I don't know why Mariah
just
is
stay in the
show. Why Dr. Fincia, they are no more on the show.
Listen, it's all about having a dialogue.
Thank you.
All right, so listen, my friend, Dr. Francine is on a trip. She's not on the show because she's traveling. Okay, that's a good question since you asked about her. We make that announcement already. We want to tell you though, the reason that you gave that this Cummings.
I told you time ago, you my upper ministry brother. You
but hold on now, my man. You got to upper ministry again. They got to kill me, man.
So you
can bring upper room administrative. They gotta kill me, my man. My man, stop talking about upper room small. You see the bishop look at me.
You went to America, you went to
Speak, brother, speak.
My man, stop. Upper room,
upper room ministry. Okay. Upper room ministry.
Upper room, Rufus, you gotta start.
Hello.
After upper room, but I wasn't your pastor. Don't do this. Rufus, we'll take more calls. Let's discuss Joseph Boakai in Nimba County. We'll bring your Peabody. You didn't understand well.
Thank you.
I wasn't a pastor in upper room. He always said, don't give voice to Timothy George or Peabody. No, I wasn't a pastor. Don't do this. But guys, good thing that we are taking calls. We're going to discuss the issue about JMB, the reason why he went to Nimba. We know actually why he went to Nimba. But what's going on? JMB remained quiet, silent, like a rock. But you hearing folks calling his name. Can somebody tell Mr. Dodeka that we on the show? Did he reach out to you? I tried sending the link. I can't. It's just coming back to me. So maybe when I have him today, I rather want him to come on. Dodeka, I know what's his name, Deputy Secretary General for ANC.
Yeah, he reached out to me.
But I can't send the link. Something wrong with the link, and that's the problem. So I hope that you guys tell him, please. Fagon, JMB is in Nimba. He went there today, pay a visit. Very strategic move. JMB is quiet like a church hall rat. But the name JMB always up and down when you talk about the election. Jose Boakai. Why so? This man is not doing anything. He's not talking. He has no money. He's not running around. But that name, it's just like between he and George Weah. Talk to us. You know JMB. You understand his game. Why his name is up, is still on top, but he's not doing anything.
Well, I think the Liberian people know that I made a podcast before. And I said, I see an old man coming, meaning he's walking very slow, but steadily. And after that, I made a statement that the only way to the presidency for Mr. Cummings is through Joseph Boakai. That is, if JMB died tomorrow, Cummings will surface. If JMB decline running, Cummings will surface. If JMB decides that I'm tired, I'm retiring from politics, Cummings will surface. Either ways, anyhow, the only way to the presidency for Cummings is through JMB. Many JMB can decide not going today. Cummings will be on the top. But I am saying again, I asked the question, who is most likely to go to the second round with we are? Everybody said JMB. I said, so why are we wasting our time? There is an open playing field right now. George Weah is not talking because nobody has put pen to paper with President Weah. Jeremiah Kuhn is out there. Prince Johnson has washed his hands, but we know his hands stay in the bowl, he's looking around. He's a military scientist. He won't take his hand out of that bowl. We also know that LPDP is sitting on the fence watching President Weah. We also know that NPP is watching President Weah. So the playing field is open. Now, Prince Moy and Nyomli Kanga Lawrence, those two individuals are what we call now, for those of you in America, the wild cards. They can sway anyway, including DeLong. And that's why I think Musa Bilete said, let's give it 60 days. Because there is a hunt to grab who you can grab and put them in your corner. And amongst all the candidates, next to President Weah, Cummings has the money. So, with what we know in Liberian politics, anyone who is able to build alliances or construct collaborations and coalitions will stand a better chance. For me, if I had $2-3 million now, y'all won't be sitting here talking. Y'all be talking about me because I know what to do to get people. And I think right now, you cannot downplay any politician. Because as I said, and I will say again, within the next 60 days, things will change. Why you think Boakai got up and paid an unannounced visit to Nimba? When did Boakai enter Nimba? Perhaps Boakai was in Nimba last night. They did everything they had to do, and he surfaced today. And we're talking about him today. What happened last night? What even happened today? Who did he meet? What was the discussion? But again, Cummings can do the same. Cummings can do the same. But at the end of the day, we are waiting to see what will happen in the next 60 days. I am waiting also.
It's good to wait. Central and George, the same question. Boakai quiet, home. He having engagement. He met the Chinese ambassador. He having engagement here and there, making the case quietly, silently. When you get out there, George Manuel Weah, Joseph Boakai. George Manuel Weah, Joseph Boakai. What is he doing differently? He's not speaking, but something about him that the people gravitizing.
Well, former Vice President Boakai, he ran against President Weah in the last election. He went to the runoff, and then he was defeated in the runoff. And since then, like most Liberians felt that they said, well, we should have taken the vice president over Wia, because at the time we just thought we were going to go through a change. They've been, so you see that he's been active. The vice president has not been sitting quietly. He's been active, and people see him as a safe hand that can take the country to another level. So, and make no mistake, he's a formidable candidate. He's a former sitting vice president for this country for 12 years, and there's have been nothing come on this man has been like to say his hands are involved in corruption or anything. People have come out to prove it. Say, well, yes, the proof. People just make, but he been engaged in the government. He been speaking out, but and I'm sure he sometimes he said, well, let me test the momentum. So he come out his unannounced visit and just showed up and shows up, and the people come up overwhelmingly to the meeting. And Vice President Boakai, I mean, he's a guy who the CDC they're watching strongly, because they see him as a threat to the re-election. So the former vice president, he will continue to draw the attention of the ruling establishment and Liberians around the country. So it's just a matter of time, and people want to see his running mate. And as I was saying again, once the ticket is formed and they come up with a national campaign team, we're going to know exactly where election is heading, because the election is for anybody to if everybody's running for election, we cannot rule anybody out. And I would not even rule Councilor Gonglo out, because he's campaigning very strongly. I see every day. So right now, the vice president today, what he did in Nima, people should pay attention to it. That he's a formidable force, and he's.
While we're talking, let me squeeze you a little bit while we're talking about JMB. What name you think out there? Because JMB have name recognition. JMB is like come second. You said it. The CDC afraid of JMB. This thing going down to the wire is between George Manawea and Jose Yima Boakai. I'm not saying the other forces not out there, but they come distant third, distant fourth. We know that. Let's be serious for a minute. So if JMB at this time, 72 hours to the new year, he's in that position, comfortably in that position. So tomorrow, George, having a VP, what impact would that have? And that VP should be who? To just push him over the cliff, make him understand that we get people trust us. This is my VP. Let's run. Let's get this thing going.
Well, like what the former vice president, right? What people are watching and what we're trying to really watch to see who will be his running mate, because, like Fagon said, if anybody making a choice for a VP, that person should be president on day one. Can be president with a minute's notice to say, well, anything to happen, you step out to be the next president. So people seeing the former vice president as the person who will be his safe pick. They see that person, seeing that person to be someone who they see as the next president of Liberia in case of anything to happen in the event as the process go on. So that's why he got to be everybody pressuring him now. He was a vice president. The last pick you made, I think you blunder. The last pick you made, but at the time too, everybody was looking at this change. They wanted a change, so it wasn't on the vice president's side. But right now, with what happened in the last 5 years, what people have seen, that's why election will be very competitive, because like when the process starts, people will be on the campaign trail. People will be going to the interior, making a case to these people, selling a candidate and telling them why the person would be a better person than the present president. So people are making a case all over the country. So right now the VP, I mean, Joe Boakai is a name brand. He's a household name in Liberian politics. So just when announced GM become the place, people will show up. So he had made his name for himself over the years he have worked in government and being involved with politics. So he's someone who just needs to just find somebody who will be a safe pick on his ticket and see what happens.
Who that person you think would be before we go to Peabody? Who you think? You got names out there though.
Yeah, but
who you think come close?
The person that honestly, if I was advising the VP on his list to tell him will make a safe pick for him, Councilor Tiawan Gonglo will come in the picture. Gongo will make a very good vice president. Gongo records will speak for itself, you know. And Gongo is someone he's a strong campaigner. I see him campaigning every day, and Gongo brings a lot of credibility to the ticket too. People respect him. The youth, the young people in Liberia respect him. The progressive. I mean, he comes across as someone who is a safe pick. But if I was making a choice for him, Gongo and Boakai Gongo ticket, that's a strong ticket. That's a ticket that the CDC will really have to spend, and they have to fight to the extra mile to beat that ticket because they're a strong ticket.
That's a Peabody. Those same question. Why is JMB sitting so comfortably right now?
Well, maybe that's his strategy, you know. But I mean, maybe that's his strategy, and maybe they have their plan and all of that. But again, let's not forget, Vice President Boakai. I mean, he was vice president for 6 years, and this is a name that will be known for years to come. That Joe Boakai served on the presidency for 6 years, so that's a name that is known all over the country, all over Liberia. That he was vice president for 12 years. So he's popular. Nobody should take it for granted that this man is not popular. Nobody knows Vice President Boakai. He's well known. This is a man that came second to the last election, the 2017 election. He came second. So that he's well known, you know. So we can say that he's sitting comfortably. He has a team that is working. They have a tag team. They have the class reload that is promoting them and all of that. So we can say they are not working. Maybe they have their own strategy or what to do or when to do it, you know.
No, we are not saying they are not working, but Dr. Peabody, maybe you're missing the point. We are not saying they are not working. We are saying they're doing something extraordinary. That's why they're gaining momentum. They're gaining the trust of the people. But you see, JMB, he's not just all over. He always calm. He always quiet. He's like, he have that precision. He targeting. And it's resonating. The people getting the message.
Well,
and that's what we are saying. We know they are working, Dr. Peabody. Come on now.
But who doesn't know Joe Boakai in Liberia? Joe Boakai is a popular man. You know, in terms of gaining the favor of the people, I mean, he got his own partisan. Don't forget the Unity Party was the former ruling party. Okay, he's from the ruling party. They still got a lot of people that's following them. Like I just said, he took second in the election. He still have a lot of people that is following them. You know, I'm gonna say here, I don't know who this election will be between, but at the end of the time, we'll find out who the Liberian people really want. You know, at this time, I feel it's too early to predict that it's going to be between President Weah and President Boakai. We got.
You understand that, Dr. Peabody, but you see that the voices out there will either go first, President Weah, Joseph Yema Boakai. So the case we're making, since we have discussed Cummings, is that why? But anyway, I don't know how you understand.
I mean, yeah,
the question.
Yes,
but
he's a very popular man.
Yeah,
vice president took second place in the election. You know,
who do you think Boakai should tap? If you were advising Boakai, what would your advice be like?
Well, that's a very good question. I must admit, I think Vice President Boakai himself said that he made an error last year for picking the vice president. You know, so he would change it. But there are a lot of good Liberians out there. Let me give some names. Let me name some later. Yumli Kanga is out there. Nobel Peace Prize winner is out there. Jeremiah Kuhn is out there. Tewan Gongo is out there. You know, I mean, Mr. Gongo is running to be president, so let me not put his name there. But there are a lot of other Liberians out there, and I believe they are being very cautious in what to do this time. You know, so I mean, nobody should sit there and think Joe Boakai is just a common name in Liberia. Based on his record, vice president came from the second biggest political party in Liberia. You know, vice president for 12 years. He's a very popular man. I must admit, he's very popular. That's all.
Thank you. Fagon, JMB just in a position right now. You can throw anything at him. People just coming around. Say what you want to say. We understand his services to government. We understand his years in office, vice president for 12 years. They can beat on him. But it's something that CDC fear. CDC actually taking JMB to be a serious force. They are very concerned. And they have reached a place that, listen, we will cut to the chase. We have to do something or else JMB will take over. And the people are answering to that, though. You go on the street, those that are mad at the government turn to JMB. It's like a two-person race. I'm going, what? JMB is quiet. He's working behind the scene, but he's not a show off. What's going on? And the next question to this is that, who do you think out there that will actually strengthen and just close this thing up with JMB as a VP? Fagon, as quiet as he is, he stay gaining votes.
That's why you think that JMB is quiet. But don't forget, softly, softly, kill monkey. Let me say this to all of you on this platform. This election will be different. Each one of the candidates, the four of them, will need one person plus two. It's a formula that I have derived. Right now, in order to qualify for the second round, I can tell you that President Weah will need Joel plus, whether it's the party or the individual, I don't care. You need plus two. Either the NPP and the LPDP to move forward. Anything short of that, he's going nowhere. JMB will need 1 plus 2. In the case of JMB, it can be political parties, but I give you a typical example. If Nyombli, Prince Moi, sit down and say, JMB, for the sake of the country, take Jeremiah Kuhn, and you have our support. That's Nyombli with the Basso belt of over 100,000 votes. That's Prince Moi with the Bong belt of over 160-something thousand votes. That's JMB with his own Lofa with 123,000 votes. Then come in Jeremiah Kuhn with the biggest number of 214,000 votes. If you look at our electoral history, with opposition always taking Monserrato like that, easy. It's a wrap. It is a wrap. If George Weah does not win the election in the first round with more than 10%, he's done. It's over for him. Pack your bags and leave. Because you are looking at Jeremiah Kuhn of Lofa. His votes can take the whole Southeast. And Nimba votes are cultural and traditional. Lofa vote, I don't need to tell you, is cultural and traditional. So that's 214,000 plus 123. I'm just using the data from 2017. That's 300 and almost 50,000. Then Prince Moi of Bong, very influential. If they win Bong and Nyombli come with the Bassa belt of Bassa, Magibi, and River Cess, the man is in trouble because the man he carried first as his VP pick, which happens to be Nukwe, controls Magibi at the moment as the godfather. And brother, Magibi has almost 115,000 plus votes. So we are headed for trouble. And that's why everybody is waiting. When the baboon devour cola, the monkey then will suffer. When it comes to Cummings, Cummings will have to be a player. If Cummings play hard, and Cummings takes LPDP and NPP with him, and is able to get Kun on his side, Tiawon on his side, and maybe Vani Shema and Amara, will be a 3-horse race. Only the ballot will decide.
But I will hold you right there. Your scenario, your last scenario is impossible from where we sit. You gotta understand that for America
in politics,
to
nothing
win,
is impossible.
But let me finish now. You gotta understand that for Cummings, for America to win in Bapadu, he needed blessing and support of Snow. No. Let me finish. Let me make my point now. You hire your time. You'll give me the chance. If I go, you will need the blessing of Snow, McGill, the president, for Amara Corner to win in Bapadu. You can disagree with me, but that's Bapadu. There's a reason why.
Hold on
one minute.
I ask you, why are you?
But you cannot interrupt me. Because I didn't interrupt. But there's a reason why.
Okay.
Yeah. If I finish it, you can ask. Then I'll give you my reason. Again, let me repeat. You will need the Snow. You will need the McGill personal wear. It's the reason why McGill decided to stay in Magibi. His first thought was Buffalo. This is the checkup. And this is the reason why McGill said I would stay, because I think I have the people more in Magibi closer to Bolsonaro than Buffalo. McGill made the decision to give Amaracona the space. Amaracona met the president. They gave him the blessing. Who negotiated, who made this happen was Snow. Who make all these things happen was Snow. Brother, it's the deep part of that politics. You cannot take away Amaracona. If the forces now are going against Amaracona, if they do not succeed, you cannot take away Amaracona from CDC. I know your scenario you gave it, but I will come back to say, since you're dragging us to CDC, I want us to go to the phone line and talk about JMB. Let's take calls on JMB, then we'll end on CDC and NPP. I am not celebrating what Jimmy did today. I am not celebrating Joel Howard Taylor, but I am telling you from all indication, Jimmy can go up, Jimmy can come down. It is written on the wall. NPP will stay with CDC. And I know you and Timon are going to beat me on this one. It's up to y'all. But NPP is not going anywhere. The MDR, they are not going anywhere. They will remain with CDC. Well, I know Timon don't want to give me a chance. So if I go now,
because
the Liberian, when it comes to the Liberian politics, Liberian politics is not static. It's dynamic.
I took away your time. Please come and interrupt this man.
Everything can change because, and right now, I would say this: what's happening in MPP? If you think some of the stories that left them before they're not involved, then you know the politics there because. It's not happening. That's just happening normally. Happen. No, things are happening. Politics is about infiltrating and disrupting.
I would agree with you, and I know that you and Fagon plan that you're wishing for politics. This, but I would say this, and I would disagree with you.
If you would say that, Amara, let me tell you now, 2017, when we all knew that the Banasali was supporting the CDC, it was glaring, and at the time. You know how President we used to call Amara Senator. I used to call Funati Mr. Speaker because he said, well, when the election over, Amara would take my seat. Funati began Speaker. So, but when it happened, what happened? Everything changed. Amara never felt he felt bad that
the people have spoken. They passed on that thing. The people passed that level to my
so
they passed that level.
You think that happened? You think okay? Amara, I'm sure Amara is a smart guy. Amara know that even though the series they supported me per se, but I'm not going to just step in and say, well, I know what happened in the past.
That's so not true.
But let's get something straight.
In the Bible election,
politics is not.
You can see what's going to happen there. And I believe my friend and Paul Kennedy out. Paul Kennedy stand up. Who changed to United election?
Politics
I agree, but for you to take away Amara Corner from this CDC today. No, you are in error, brother. Amaracona not going anywhere. Amaracona will remain with Joe. We are forget about the 2017 speaker, senator name. This is a new day. This is a new game. These guys are in this together.
Okay.
First of all, Stendo, let me say you're wrong. I don't know where you came from to post no in Bapolu politics.
No, but you didn't listen to my explanation.
You say he broke out that deal.
And for Americana to get the blessing
in short,
of the president, it was no involvement.
It's like you're not talking to Nathaniel McGay bag ball, as they can call me.
No, you're not a bad boy.
I don't know. Why you put him there? Don't put him. He ain't even close.
All right, you in snow business. Make your point.
Maggie can easily be a great help to Amara than Snow.
Maggie is a help to Amara.
Politics is not.
But you're just for all of this thing now. You're talking about the issue.
If politics was math, 1 + 1 = 2. The man who said he was going to drag George Weah out the street, who said everything, George Weah was never going to pick up the phone and call Costa. You never know what will happen the next day. JMB would have never testified against Cummings. UA would have never carried Cummings to the police station. Nyombili would have never referred to Cummings as the fingerer. Louis Brown would have never joined Cummings. Neither politics is not static, and it is not Bible. I am telling you now, you will get the shock of your life in the next 60 days, and I'll be here to remind you.
Please do. But I would disagree with you.
Today, Tomali, you know what happened? When I told him about the NPP press conference, he said, you know what? Send it to me. Send it to me. When he looked at it, he said it is disturbing. The real NPP people.
Is it bad there today?
As I told you, first of all, Joel Howard Taylor is not constitutionally, he said, and I'm quoting him, the standard bearer of the NPP any longer. Her tenure expire December 17. And according to the Constitution, he cannot get a third term.
We got to take the JMB call, though.
No, I come in now. Let me just finish. I'm begging you. I'm trying to tell you how our politics can shift within a twinkle of an eye. When I got a call this morning that JMB went to Nimba, hell.
You want us to play that?
No, do you play it? Your friend? Play.
In line with the National Elections Commission published electoral guidelines and the National Patriotic Party Constitution, Section 11.1, nomination of legislative candidates. 11.2, nomination of presidential candidates. The National Executive Committee today, in its Thursday, December 29, 2022 sitting, mandates the Secretary General to give notice inviting application for members for nomination as party legislative candidates for the ensuing elections and standard bearer for the NPP. The party has already given the Secretary General the authority to issue that notice.
The man just come out and said the standard bearer position is now vacant. I mean, the Supreme Court.
On the second Saturday of December 2022, that's 2 Saturdays back, Madam Joel Howard Taylor's tenure as standard bearer of the NPP constitutionally ended. Hence, constitutionally, she's not a standard bearer of the party. 3.2 of the Constitution says, there shall be a national convention held once every 6 years, and during the year of the general and presidential election, amongst other things, to nominate and endorse candidates for presidential, legislative position as a result of primaries held in the political subdivisions. 9.1, no officer or official of the party can succeed himself or herself more than once. Except amended, the Constitution of the NPP prohibits Madam Taylor and all elected officials from seeking a third term. Madam Taylor was first elected standard bearer of the party in 2010 and was re-elected 2016 for a 6-year term.
Wow. I'm going to leave this one again. I'm going to leave this one again because I know Tuman George and Eugene Fagor want to tell it. That's a Peabody. Let's pause for a minute. Who are those standing behind Jimmy?
George Orba,
Can you name names?
George Maluba, Dauda Mesga, Alison Bako, Dopo
Andrew
Megazon,
Peters,
Charlene
and the
Taylor,
original
Timothy
CDC looking at one
Chao,
else.
Xavier Zoe Taylor, Thomas G. Goba, the former president, 2 daughters in our group in national leadership.
Wow, and those are powerful people from both countries.
So if you talk about the NPP, what are they asking for, Fagon? Let's pause for a minute. Don't give me no unsolved mystery or theory here. Be friend with the Liberian people tonight. Jimmy, what Jimmy asking for?
Jimmy is asking for the right to be a coalition member, not a contributor to the coalition. I hope you heard me. James Barney and his crew are asking for the right to be coalition members and not contributors to the coalition. They are not selling votes. They are not contributing votes. They are not campaigners. They are members of the Coalition for Democratic Change. And as such, they will be recognized and treated as such, or to hell with the Coalition for Democratic Change. One of the two. Choose your own.
Who the president recognize?
Who do you think the president recognized?
The question for Fagon.
The president recognizes the NPP. But he has a lady who has served him well. He believes in her. But she does not see the party as a structure, but rather as a team that she's leading. No, that's not going to work. That is not going to work. And if she's not careful, she will hold a paper, if you remember what I told you before, and JB will take the party and they will leave. And there will be one vote with a few scattered votes from the NPP for President Weah. The NPP will be gone. The sooner he starts to engage and listen to the party leadership and structure, the better it will be for him.
So, George, now you heard that Jimmy, Senator, he asking for this thing. Do you think he's going to get it, though? You think President Weah need to step in and intervene now?
The best thing to happen. But you see, the CDC, the coalition, the governing coalition, they were smart, though. When they had the convention, right? When they came up with the convention where Barney was re-elected as chairman with his core officers, the vice president had her own convention, I think, and came up with Stenek McLean as her chairman of her MPP version. But guess what happened? The CDC led by Molu, they recognized James Barney as a legitimate chairman. See, they were smart. So, well, from what we look at, we recognize Barney as a legitimate MPP chairman. They never recognized the VP and was Stenek McLean and no. Okay? So right now, they want the Supreme Court. Supreme Court ruled that the decision from the civil law court, they should stand and they overturn the NEC decision that tried to not recognize Barney. So right now, the Supreme Court, who's the final arbiter of our legal disputes, said James Barney is the national chairman of the MPP and as the party that is recognized. So right now, President Weah, for his own good, he needs to, even if he wants to see Barney, and he keeps peace from Barney, he gotta if you want to be re-elected, you gotta close your eyes now and try to talk to Barney. Because let me end on this. The last election, the former president, when he spoke from his prison, he made a clarion call that he should go to the CDC. They went there, and now you got two of his daughter. He loved his kids, and they are now members of this side, and they have access to him. Don't be surprised one of these days we say former President Taylor speaking from prison, and he gave that marching order. CDC that the Mali CDC forget it. The coalition.
Let's talk about Sandra Johnson. Which side Sandra Johnson on?
I'm not saying being. I'm not barely getting.
Sandra Johnson on no side.
But just something I wanted to say though. Barney said today that Constitution says 2 terms.
2 terms.
You can't go the 3rd term. That's a problem right there. That is a problem. And how do they plan to resolve that? How do they plan to resolve that?
Can I educate you on something real quick?
Come here.
Can I educate you?
One second, right?
The coalition document says that the president shall have the prerogative to pick from among the other two parties, all parties, his choice for VP. So she does not necessarily have to be. She just needs to be a member of one of the two parties, and he can still take her.
Okay.
Yeah, but so now we know right now that the best bet for President Weah is to carry the safe bet for him is just do up for him on his re-election. So now, but instead of them going to Justice Ministry writing yesterday saying the Justice Ministry might intervene, they're making a mistake now. They better take that letter from there and put all the shame aside so let them meet. If they fail to meet,
do you think? But my question to you: do you think the president will intervene?
But
should he intervene?
Yeah, it's his own interest to intervene because instead of not forget now, he's on the ballot. He won't be re-elected, and he needs the NPP. He needs them a lot. And then number two, to his disadvantage with him with NPP guys now, he reneged on the promises they made prior to the election.
That's the problem right there.
Getting jobs, they're going to share the position. I think you all know they reneged on the promises to the NPP guys. They were being frustrated, and it's what happened today. And so right now, in their mind, they say, look, we trust the guys again because if they get re-elected, what they did offers will be worse. So right now, their demands are high, and they have the leverage.
And the second thing I want to add, when the commotion started first, I don't know if he took side with the VP, but he got rid of Randall Cooper
from LPRC.
Yeah, you didn't see the bright man way behind him.
Yeah, he came on the show. Cooper came on the show.
And when these are the boom de la booms. I said boom. De la booms.
But the president also, I will add to that though, the president also said anybody that speak against VP, it will be all of his government. Was that a problem?
A big problem. And that's why these guys decided, look, if we split up, they will destroy us. We're going to hold together and we're going to hold him. Now, the president have to talk. Because look at that group you saw today. No way out. You either deal with them or you take 10 partisans from NPP and take them with you. That's it.
Who on the VP side? Who on her side? From give me some names. People
the
that
names
supported
on
her
the VP
ideas.
side are not well-known people. You don't know any of them. I'm telling you now, you don't know them. That's why Siri Allen came up and condemned the first time what happened and said that they should return to the negotiating table. He played that fatherly role. But apparently, I don't think the VP is listening to Siri. And if you don't listen to Siri Allen, then you on your own. All the names in the NPP are all behind James Barney because their interest is tied to each other, if you know what I mean. If you and myself on one side and a rough on up, we'll hold together. So the VP on her own, the health minister cannot help her. Her sister Noel Howard cannot help her. Joseph Howard cannot help her. She needs to come back to her party and sit down with the people she led for almost 12 years. She needs to do that.
The best thing is, like I said, stand on. I like you, but when it comes to my political life, I gotta. You saw in America, Republicans, most of them, I didn't feel about Biden, but they said for our country, we better go our country. We'll close our eye and vote for Biden because we won't get rid of Trump. Same thing happened right now with NPP. The president may not be happy with Biden or with Biden and his team, the VP, but if they really want to have that full support, you got to put aside the differences and for the good of the coalition, come together and meet. But if they say they will play, everyone act tough, the MP boys that Biden got 9 years job, Biden strong, Biden and the MP guys then they strong. They've been surviving since they left power. They're still hanging. They're still strong to keep the party together up to this date. Give them credit.
And Barney is a feisty negotiator. I hung up with Barney and Maggie. Barney would tell you any day Fagon was always there. That guy knows how to negotiate. And that guy is now seen as the leader of the party. Honestly. So any attempt by President Weah to ignore that group would be consequential politically for him. He cannot.
The solution, your advice now, the solution.
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah.
The solution now is?
The solution will be to call them, have a sit down. First and foremost, apologize. Because you know why? They were members of the coalition that were literally left out. Secondly, when they decided to confront their leader, Madam Joa Howard Taylor, with the reality of the day, she downplayed them. When they tried to protest against what was happening to them, they were punished by President Weah. So they are now together as a group. You have to call them, apologize to them. Of course, don't assure them they will not buy it. And put your offer on the table. Let it be your best. If it's not your best, that thing you say, NPP not going anywhere. Which NPP are you talking about? The Madam Taylor, the VP NPP, or James Barney NPP? The one that is down, Stanton, fears no fall. They have not had a job for 6 years. They don't care. They don't expect anything from you anyways. So they have the leverage, and President Weah is at the mercy of the leadership you saw on that tip. You might want to put him back. He's at the mercy. Because I'll be honest, LPDP came with cars and trucks and motorbikes. I'm not saying they don't have partisans, but they don't have enough to fill a school building. That I can tell you. They are not, how should I put it, nationwide. Their concentration is in Bomi and parts of Cape Mount. That's it. So the CDC will be in trouble.
Let me ask you. You have a whole group of people, NPP. What kind of compensation that you can give them now that will resolve the entire saga? I mean, because you're still going to have some people who will say, you know what, I didn't get any of the share. So what? How can you compensate them now? What can you give them to say, you know what, we're moving to the CDC. We all agree now. We're on one accord. Muted.
The thing is simple. In Liberia, they got something they call Reba. You know what Liberia call Reba?
No.
I just like the way you answer it.
I just spoke to the chairman Barney. He said he will be coming on our show soon, and he's following the show. So he said, "We have to say to me at a press conference."
When you talk these people, they use their money. If you like their resources, they work. They did everything to make you president. Their cars left on the road. Their bank accounts went dry. Some of them lost their marriages. Some of them today cannot afford to eat. But they never gave up on you. You are not going to stand in front of them and say, do it again. You know, you're the gospel people. Y'all got some kind of music. Do it again. Do it again. Something as
well, you know, but Fagon, let me just interrupt you, right? You know what Fagon is saying, Peabody, don't forget now, since Taylor left the country in 2003, right? When he left, you guys and people were out of power, right? They've been out of power. They came and with a coalition, they joined these guys, and with the expectation that they were going to be, they were doing in good faith. Everybody will live according to the agreement. But they took power, they let these guys down. So right now, these guys, they have survived since 2003. They have survived. And then they came as far as the vice president job in the country, the party. And then today, if they're not happy, so you know their demands will be high. The discussion they're having with it. So as I said, they'll be one of the toughest negotiations for the CDC and for the coalition to stand. Because, and like Fagon was saying too, Here's the time too for the other parties and the UP and the CPP to start saying, look, let me show the guys too. That politics now. So right now, it's a tough thing happening right now.
But let me ask you another question.
Wait. Let me say something about it. The CDC pick out a fine girlfriend in that club. Carry her home. Sweet talk her. Now, 1 year later, you meet the same girl. Say, I want you to go with me to the house. You think she will follow you?
So do you believe the president took the law in his own hand when he refused to, when he went about like didn't try to negotiate with them? What assurance can they have now that the first time 5 years we had an agreement, you didn't even go by the agreement, we didn't even get nothing out of it. So you think this time I can say, fuck, go, you know what? Let's talk about this. I will do that, do this. And once I win the election, I can tell you, don't matter, man. You know, so what would rather convince them now? What I mean, what
I told you already. You're not listening. Red by.
Okay, trap the mob and give enough mob so that we can agree. I mean, but
red back.
I see the position though. I don't
know what red by mean, but red by.
Yeah, I see the position. Because it is a difficult situation to find itself in, and I think they need to go back to the table, sit down, negotiate. There will be a very tough negotiation, and I could see the disenchantment on the faces of the people standing behind Chairman Biden today. I could see
let's listen to Chairman Biden again, because something he said, it means that Joe Howard Taylor is not a stand-up bearer for NPP anymore.
No.
So let's listen to him. Let's listen to this.
December 17.
Yeah, we need to, hey, Chairman Biden.
In a related development, the coalition document, as the coalition document comes to an end, the constituent parties have constituted a framework committee to draw up the new framework that will be acceptable and beneficial to the parties. When the progress is made on this front, we will inform you appropriately. Finally, the National Executive Committee of the party calls on all its partisans across the country to remain law-abiding and cooperate with the National Executive Committee. Thanks very kindly, issued by the National Executive Committee of the National Patriotic Party. On the second Saturday of December 2022, that's 2 Saturdays back, Madam Joy Howard Taylor's tenure as stand-up bearer of the NPP constitutionally ended. Hence, constitutionally, she's not a stand-up bearer of the party. 3.2.
That's the case. That's exactly what we're coming to. Like, she's done. She's not a stand-up bearer.
Constitutionally. You know?
I mean, I still want to believe.
But that's why it's important.
There's no room for negotiation. I still want to believe that they would negotiate.
Yeah.
But this guy is saying, President, where are you hanging out with someone who is not a stand-up bearer for a political party?
Mm-hmm. So,
how detrimental that would be, Fagon, if NPP leave the CDC?
You just let to put me in trouble. How detrimental? Brother, 2005, CDC did not win. 2011, CDC did not win. CDC needed a coalition in 2017 to make her win. And you say how detrimental? Frenchman says c'est fini. C'est fini. Because the NPP is a very huge party too. Like the LP and the MDR, the ANC. So if you take the NPP away from the CDC, you have taken the starter from the car. That's it.
Same question, Senator Money, while we're wrapping this thing up. NPP leaving, are you seeing it coming? Would they leave? Or you think they'll come to some agreement?
Like I said, the best thing for them not to leave President Weah and his vice president it needs to take up the leadership. Forget about anything. Even if you're not happy with James Barney or on those who in his team here, if you're happy with them, but for your own good, for your re-election, you need an MPP. So you got to put aside and say, look, I just have to deal with this guy and meet with them and find negotiated settlement. But if they say they want to play big and say they're going to play who get power, the MPP will affect them. Because don't forget, I asked a question yesterday. You answered the question. I said, do you think the former president still got influence over the party? And somebody else, and you guys said yes, still got influence. Because if he give the marching order and say, you guys lead that coalition and they follow it. Because one of the guys you see on his list, that's very important. This guy they call Dopo Megazon. This is a guy who was very active during the MPF days. And he highly respected within the ranks and file of the MPP. You see, so with his, and then the president, his two daughters, Charlene and Sylvia Zotelo, they are part of this team. You know, it's all about interest now. Okay, interest. Whether they were taken care of during the 5 years, all come into play. So right now, the negotiation will be very tough because they know very well that if they support the CDC and then they win re-election, anything can happen. They can either close them. So right now they want for the interest to be first. So right now it will be a tough negotiation. But for the president and vice president to have a coalition together, you got to put aside the differences and work and negotiate with the people, or else they're gonna regret it.
Fagon, are you seeing light at the tunnel? Will they come to a conclusion by discussing, or you think there will be a split?
If you listen to Barney Wright, he said they are constituted a committee to reform, to do the document for the coalition. Now, if you're going to redo the whole coalition document, it means that something was wrong with the first one, right, Peabody? Okay.
Yes,
yes. And he goes on to say, if we make progress, we'll notify you all. Meaning there is an anticipation of progress. What would that progress be? My brother, red bar. Look, those guys are not going to negotiate a loss like they did the first time. If they negotiate now, it will be a negotiation for now. And the CDC, as in the Congress for Democratic Change, is indebted heavily to the NPP. I don't see them coming out with anything less than 5 million. Because you know what? The NPP used our resources to get them elected. And they left everybody out of government. Almost. One would argue, oh, the VP, okay, at the end of the day, like Andrew Peter, he had a 6-year mandate. And the VP goes ahead and appoints a Secretary General over him. How you do that? All the guys are asking for is due recognition that they are members of the coalition, and you deny them. Let's be honest. If you're not Jefferson Kojini, is Twenty or Finabono, or you cannot have a coalition where you don't hear Tyler Nim, Siri Allen. Why you think frustrated? What do you think frustrated Toga Kewi? The man who headed the whole CDC thing.
Yeah, the governing council, yeah, you are very influential.
Then you take the job, you leave him out. What do you think happened with Nathaniel Barnes, all those guys? All the NPP people were left out.
They got a tough.
Siri Allen did not have wanted a job, but Siri Allen should not be waiting for you.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So, okay, go ahead.
At the end of the day, you are not going to sweet talk them.
No way.
They credited you over the last 6 years, and you did not pay. Why should they credit you again? In America, what do we say? Your credit what?
Bad.
Very bad.
Credit bad.
Yeah.
If you were to give CDC a credit score, I'm being honest, CDC credit score is 200.
Come on.
If I'm going guy.
Come on. If you get like a
I agree. I mean, I would not say 200, but
CDC is 200.
If I'm going to raise a point, because you know what happened? When they
Before you talk to Mali,
yeah.
Who CDC credited? CDC
credit
credited people like us, NPP, LPDP. Why do you think disenchanted seditions? So if you pay, your credit score go up, right? If you don't pay, they're lucky at getting 200.
But this election, every election will be
so
more.
They don't pay credit at all.
But about it, the election will be more. It will be tough for CDC because for me, the coalition. Because you know what happened? Like for instance, when I took one Yule, I think the second year, Prince Johnson attacked them. He said he wasn't going to support them. But you know, as for him, you know, everybody know he going to speak. So is he not too consistent with everything that guy when you say support you today, tomorrow you go different way. But right now,
but they may say
the toughest one for them is the NPP right now. Because then you get Tyler too. You're not too happy, but like
Tyler. How many your Tyler break though?
But Tyler now with LPDB, right?
But how about Zopeno?
Tyler cannot. We are appointed Tyler. The main not behind him. They will do a nomination.
So then you can't blame them for Tyler.
Yeah, but now, I come in now.
Tyler got good baggage.
I come in now. Then Tyler too. He ran bombing, and then the president friend being there too, right? So now it may get worse. So right now. Tyler now who the LPDB say well, my whole thing I wanna Auburn now they think I gotta get my mouth because right now I want to do my business because
Tyler went through a lot.
A lot. Yeah.
You couldn't even support Tyler in Bummy County.
Exactly.
That's not good. That's just what's wrong. You know.
It will be a tough process. And now
I told y'all, right? Zopeno spoke recently. He said for president, we have to win in the Southeast. He has to do something a little bit different. That was Zopeno. And I know Piso Tase, but who is he? Who is Zopeno? You will know. Because I have a tip from the Grandians addressing Molu.
Oh, yeah. I watched it, yeah.
So, the CDC has bad credit. They got money, but they have bad credit. They got money like Stanton with a spoon, but I don't know if they have good credit in him.
You got to pay the mortgage.
Forgot, leave me, my man. The pepper jelly me.
The people say he must know what credit score. Now everybody knowing like bro, so please explain it better.
Okay, let me ask you a question. If I go leave credit score, let me ask you a question, right? Do you read it thing? We know moving on an election year, everybody wants to hustle. Do you really think this is so bad for CDC that they would not uphold that negotiation to bring the Tyler, the Jamie home, to bring Zopena? You think everybody just flying because they know that you either get it now or you get it never. And I think, don't you think the government know? Prince Johnson can go all crazy. Zopena can go all crazy. Jeremiah can be crazy. Senator Jamie can be crazy because they know we are getting to the crunch time. You either get it now or get it never. If Joel win, if he promised you he win the election, he care less. He's not running again.
Exactly.
All right. If Joel settle you now, you want that settlement big.
Yeah.
So let's face it.
But in reality, that's fact you're saying.
Let's face it. All the guys don't know very well. Joel get one shot to the goal.
Yeah.
That's the penalty. You score the goal, we win. You miss it, we lose.
Go home.
We go home. So at the end of the day, your boy, PYJ.
And you can't keep the ball go what it buy.
You go what it buy. But your boy PYJ.
This is penalty like France, right?
PYJ said, listen, let's call the deal. He said, my son Stanton, the president said he coming home. He will meet me. We will discuss. Have you met the president?
We know yet.
Told me. Jeremiah Coon, PYJ said, Stanton. When Maggie was there, we used to meet Maggie every day.
Yep.
We used to call Maggie every day.
Yep.
Maggie not there no more. It's hard. Phone call, they
can't call nobody.
Text messages, they can text back. So these guys know that October 10th is getting closer. 10 more months. We are getting down the wire. So they will cut the shot. They will make the demands. And they will leave it with the president. But now let me ask you guys. You're sedition, Fagon. You're sedition, Timon and George. Let me ask you guys. You think without McGill, this president, and the folks you get around him can negotiate like they negotiated before?
Okay, Fagon, be last. Okay,
okay, yeah, Fagon be last.
Let me say this though. McGill came from the NPP, right? McGill was very instrumental. I think, in fact, McGill told me the story. He said, when they came to this point, he said, that thing they're doing the CPP, they mess it up. When we came to that point, we said, look, we're carrying we as our standard bearer. We want to work with you too. And the standard bearer says is non-negotiable. But we talk about the VP business. And he said he was upfront. And he had a strength in the NPP now. He had a leverage, he had a leverage there. So McGill was very instrumental in setting the coalition together. Now, we know where that's right now. We know the status of McGill right now with them. Whether McGill will really get involved again, and if he was still in the position he as Minister of State, he will have more leverage too. We don't know, so we don't know what's happening now. But will McGill be willing to come and negotiate again and put all his fit into this process to negotiate this, have this coalition? There's another question. So McGill not being there it will affect the coalition too, because we know McGill. He wanted to, when he say what you want to say about McGill, but McGill is a very strategic guy when it comes to politics. He played. We saw what McGill did to carry CDC to victory. He was very strategic and he brought the NPP and LPP together. He had a governing council all together and he sent in a victory. So now he's not there. It's another problem. But CDC is in a tough spot because they reneged on the promises they made to people during the first term. And now, here we are.
Yeah, but before we go to Dr. Peabody, though, this is very important that we answer this question. Do you think President Weah get that persuasive, non-negotiation power? Do you think he can pursue these guys then to bring them on the table, look them in the eyes, talk to them, settle them, and take this thing home for the united NPP, CDC, NDR, and every other political party that are part of the bigger CDC? Do you think this can happen? So, come on, Josh, you know this guy. You know the president. Does he have that negotiation spirit?
Stand on. Right now, the president perhaps maybe I just heard that he didn't support Barney in Maryland. He supported Dan Moriah over Barney. Now, so you know that's another issue there too. But right now, if the president really wants to be re-elected, he got to put aside everything. And he said, well, for the good of our coalition and for my re-election, if I even have a problem with Barney, I got to talk to Barney. I will encourage you. I say, look, we got to talk to Barney. Let's make peace and carry this coalition together. Or else we blame ourselves tomorrow. So right now, President, we are coming to negotiation now. It's just about now him putting himself in the forefront and to engage the Barney group. Or else then he calling for a problem for his re-election though.
Fagon, do you think we're there yet? Will the president negotiate?
I think Peabody before me.
No, Peabody is not an NPP guy. He's not a sedition. He's like me. Would you ask you guys the question? Do you think we're there yet, Fagon?
Let me say this to you. The goods that is on sale now is cheap. President Weah's best bet is to buy it now. If President Weah wait for Jeremiah Coon, senator, to sit down with Senator James Barney, and the two agree, and they meet Tyler, what Joy we are supposed to pay this week will quadruple inside his hand.
Oh, the price going up, but the price going up every day?
Every day, the price goes up. Why? Because Jeremiah Kuhn, James Barney, Speaker Tyler, they hold the chance for George Weah to even think about second round. They are the ones holding George Weah stake. If they break it, he's not going anywhere. And I'm saying this to say that if Jeremiah Kuhn, MDR, NPP, and LPDP says we will not go with the Coalition for Democratic Change, what do you think will happen? Pele say, it finished.
Yeah.
There is a record that shows that the CDC cannot win on her own. She needs a coalition to win. But because the CDC lied the first 6 years, these guys will milk the CDC for everything until the CDC goes on life support.
But it will call you to help them, though. You negotiate. You help them and they call you to help them negotiate.
I'm not El Baghdad. I'm not from Iraq.
But Fagon, you say you want a revolutionary mandate. It's time to.
But Fagon. So the issue is that Dr. Pele, let me come to you. I think that Liberian take home something tonight. And what Liberian need to take home is that it left with the president, though.
Well, if he wants to be re-elected, then he will come down to the level. You know, he will have to come down to the level. You know, they got an old song, either singing here, there, and he came down to a level when couldn't go up to him. It's not the time for president. We have to come down to
my level.
And negotiate with the people. There's no ego here. You want to be president. Nothing like using your ego or being mad with people. You have to suck it up and come down to them, negotiate, and say, you know what, this is it. And if I'm gonna say you don't want the price to continue going up, because like every day when you add more players to it.
I didn't know the price was going up. The negotiation window price.
What's that done? What's that done? You see now? I think Fagon said it earlier on the show. You see now? This where I believe it happened. I want to believe it happened because if you in the UP now and the ANC now, the CPB, don't tell me say you see what happened in NPP and you will be seeing now watching and no. It's time for you to start making trying to infiltrate and try to get people to talk because like you want players then. Right now, the people trying to negotiate a contract. They want contract. So right now, it's time to say, look, I want Adam or not. I want that guy. I need that guy. So if you sit down and say you let sit and watch them, so let them. No, then you making a mistake.
But let me say it real quick to Fagon. Did the president? They didn't see this coming. Toga McIntosh left. He complained about this thing. He came on spoon. He said they treated us unfairly. They didn't see it coming though. Why wait this time?
Let me start by saying, the day you brought up with Barney, I want you to do me a favor as a friend. Ask him 2 questions. Say most of the time, who used to wake you up in the morning? Me and Maggie.
That's the negotiation.
We know. We beat a window and they say, who's that again, man? I'm a cancer. Every morning we go Jim Barney. And we sit in the Palawa hall and talk. But our big boys talk.
But I will call you back.
Secondly, ask Barney.
We'll call you Maggie.
First money that was given to me on behalf of the coalition was given to me by James Barney. A guy called Joseph Tarr.
Yeah.
He does the Electoral. I'll give you my name so you can go check. He saw that I was struggling. He said, my man, we need you. And I said, I don't have the money to continue to do this crap. James Barney was not a senator, was nobody. But me and Robert Hines, he gave us $35,000 Liberian dollars to help when we never got money from any other person. You ask him that question, he will tell you. So I know Barney very well. The Americans will not say, oh, pay to play. These people joined a coalition. They put their cars on the road. They use their monies. They kill their businesses. Look at Ronald Cooper. Ronald Cooper had the airline business, you not forget? Look at Siri Allen found money. At the end of the day, you just dump them. Me, Eugene Fagon, I'm not even talking. I got friends like Peabody. I got friends like Stanton. You know, I'm not crying. But listen, the guys on the ground work to make you president. And for 6 years, you acted like you didn't know them. So today, I don't think they're refusing to help you again, but they're just reminding him that their cars left in the bushes, their bank account went dry, and if he needed help, the money to do it will have to come from them. People, you understand what I'm saying? Meaning, we are broke. We spend $10 million on your campaign. So, none of us got any money again. If you need us to help you, you will have to provide the funding.
So, Jeff, let me just go back to your question.
Did you not see this coming? Come on.
Let me just go back to a question
it was
that
just a matter of time.
Let me just go back to a question that Stanton asked. Now, you don't have a negotiating power of folks like McGill.
Yeah.
Now, who can you send there? I mean, take it or leave it. Cummings said McGill was a strong negotiator. He will get up in the morning, he will roll, and he will make sure, you know. Now you don't have anybody like McGill. So who can really do that now for the CDC?
I will leave that to you to guess. As a seditious, I look in the whole CDC. I can't even find ends to do that job.
Yeah.
Ends.
But Fago, let me interrupt you. They say they do have McGill. McGill is still a sedition. McGill can negotiate. Don't you think so?
You probably let us spoil the election. There may be people say nobody will do business with McGill. It doesn't mean that McGill will not operate behind. But McGill does not have that spirit, that zeal. That's my brother. Because I will tell you on this platform, when the sanction was placed on McGill, there were people in the CDC celebrating.
That's true.
There were people.
That's true.
Who celebrated his downfall.
That's true.
Where is the spirit? Where is the zeal? Where is the chief strategist of the CDC? He's in self-imposed exile today. Who will they find? But you know, Tomali, CDC will always sing the song. You don't have our money to defeat us. But right now, we don't have the Magay to strategize. We don't have the Fangon to campaign. We don't have the Wozi to write. We don't have Sarbon, Jake Brown to tell us what's happening in the cloud. Don't have those people. The Dwana Sion and the Poima JV Poima, they're all gone. Finish. Go and find them. So you don't have a lot of people. So the president will have to get up, strap his boots, roll up his sleeves, and get at the front of his own campaign. If not, we are headed for trouble.
Wow.
Fagon, let me ask you a question. You have announced who they don't have, but who do they have? Who read it? We can look, they're looking up to now, if it is not the president. You have taken away McGill, taken away Bama G.V. Bama, you have taken away Eugene Fagon, all the other folks. Who remains? Who can negotiate? Who will negotiate?
Let me ask you, you're going to send Jefferson Koji to who? They see it's not that Jefferson Koji is a wicked boy or a bad boy, but they see the Jefferson Koji, they see the Safwa, they see the Pisota, they see that group as the group that cocooned the president, lock him in, and refuse to allow them to see him. At the end of the day, that the code you were sent for the Kasali, not going to happen. Who do they have? Right now, besides George Weah, Thomas Fala is trying to be strong. But T. Fala, where goes you? Where were you 5 years ago? He has to exert himself. It is not an easy thing, man. The trust is not there.
Well, who's there? Who's there right now in CDC? Who's right now? Who that name?
Kev.
Because you are making some point. Let me say this. You're making a point. When McGill was there in and all of the country, McGill. Anything that McGill. And the stress, the pressure, the tension actually have increased. when he was there. He's no longer. You are right. Maybe he can talk behind the scene, but he's not that formidable. People just, I don't want to say what you said, but let's just agree on this. Who now, if it is not George Manneh, we are president. If it is not him, who? Sidisha running to. Oh, you see the problem at Legis, oh, you see rice problem, oh, you see the agriculture problem, everybody. Who are they running to? Who's that person?
But even the chairman, okay, let me be honest with you. It's no secret. Since that tape came up with Malu, with that tape that came up, Malu and the president relationship they are not been the same. Okay, I mean we seen it glaring. Okay, and Malu is doing everything now for the sake of party and so forth. But the first thing they have to write that issue got to be settled. Have that, and you see what they did. They had a convention quickly. The president on here had a convention quickly. Koji became Secretary General, and they came up with the national leadership, and the moving's way now. But now they gotta accept that leadership. They work together. You gotta trust them. You gotta give them funds to let them and run the party and so forth. So right now they're in a tough spot because people that took them to power, most of the people left. The people they went apart, and they should have tried to mend fences to reconcile. They tried to do it, I think 2 years ago, had a reconciliation, but it turned out to be the turning party they had some issues there, right? So we have a reconciliation. They put one there. I think Ava was still there. Had a reconciliation programming at the party headquarters, and the guy what happened. They turned out to be just to praise the president. Although they praise the president instead of reconciling, were seeking praise to the president, and that thing never ended well. People say, "Well, the guy's not ready." So right now, you have to first fix the internal issue. Then they go to the coalition, the governing coalition they had. That governing council that should have ran the government, everything just went kaput. And now, with all the issues we're talking about, with the NPP, what's happening NPP now, that crisis is deepening. So, it's about timing. Because if you never know what's happening behind the scene, who's from the opposition talking to these guys, you don't know. You know what's happening. That's why I said, do not just rule out the likes of McIntosh and Louis Brown. They are all NPP stalwart. That the mother party they came from. Okay, they joined ANC. They just helping the Cummings team. They came from that. So they still member of that party. They all resign from that party. So I look at all of these issues all of these scenarios that into play right now. So right now, the best bet is for the president to put aside everything and try to reach out to Bani, he and the vice president, and see how best they can work up the differences, or else they're in trouble.
But again, Malu is a very strong member of that party. Chairman Malu is one of those who have worked diligently hard for that party. And, as you said to me, take it or leave it. He made some mistake. I mean, and you want to win re-election. I think it's about time that you put them together. You can't be a divider. You are the head. You want to win re-election. It's about time now that you mend fences with Chairman Malu. Look at the work that he did when the president came back to the country. Look at how many people he brought out there to welcome. You say what way he did it, what way he didn't do it, it paid or didn't pay. But see the people he brought to welcome the president, and he was honored. I mean, people say things. We all get behind the corner and say nonsense sometimes. It doesn't mean that we hit the individual stuff. It's about time now that he worked with Malu and try to put the party back together. But you cannot have divide the party. Now you got NPP divided, and you got your own internal ranking going on in the CDC. It's about time now that you really bring Chairman Malu back to the table, because he has proven over and over that yes, he can bring he is a formidable figure within your party. So you got to work with him. But all this, I mean, you can see the demeanor when they are together. You don't see that spirit. You don't see that joy. And but Chairman Malu have demonstrated to a higher level that he welcomed his president, he loved his boss, but you don't see that. And you're going for a major election in a year. I mean, less than a year. Next month or next week or day after tomorrow, you're going to be starting a campaign and stuff like that. You need to work with this man who will bring your people back together. You can't divide.
The first half of our president, we are presidency. You know how many people got dismissed because people recorded them? Some people just sit down and they want to raise their own little moje to carry something home. People will record and carry it to the president. It happened. I don't want to call names. But they say, oh, same man is press secretary to the president. If he's sitting in a gathering, maybe he want to make a little news, you know. I told the president, but you take it, carry it. You go, you record that person, but you take it, carry it. They recorded from LTA, but you take it, carry it. Look. And when the president said, I don't want to see that man again, that's all he needs to say. But every time he said, I don't want to see that man again, he didn't know it was -1 vote. And in some cases, it was minus 10,000 votes. If Ellen don't want to see you, she will put you in a foreign mission or put you somewhere far from near her. But you will remain on the team because she can't afford to lose you. Judge will say he won't see you, just fire away. Don't come back. He will not even call you or talk to you. He meets you in public, he will not speak. Those things can hurt you down the road. And yes, we're seditions. But brother, I'm saying it to you guys today. In the next 60 days, y'all will not be talking the way you're talking here. We will know who be who. Tamaken fret, na infoya. Tamaken hokinu, na in West Point. After 60 days, we know. The playing field will be level. And every Liberian will have an idea of where we are headed. Make no mistake. The transfer window is open. And anything can happen. I mean, anything right now.
So if they reach out to you, you're taller than, right?
You know how many times people have been reaching out to me? Wow. I never ever refuse to talk to people. But what I will refuse is nonsense. You talk sense, we'll talk.
what is considered nonsense to you?
What's considered sense?
Eddie. Ain't no, you're not going anywhere.
I forgot the guy Kev that help that.
That's what I'm saying. Ain't no, you're not going anywhere. What's a sedition? Always sedition.
I can't like you sedition for true.
You know,
I always call him, that's my late brother, but that's Stanton's best friend. But I always call him the 40-day return Liberian. I say, you went Liberia for 40 days, you want Allah, you know Liberia more than we the one who can sleep there. I said, go ahead. The day they will catch you, new time to be you. By the time you will know.
But you know, on a very honest note, you know, I think the president need to reach out. You know, those who get out there and the tighter, taller, you know, talking and trying to spoil other people's things. But I think, you know, I don't know Malu like that, you know, but I like the guy. I like the guy's spirit. The guy's very
Malu is a good man.
Yeah, I don't, you know.
And if it wasn't for Malu, some of the people in CDC would not be there today.
I agree with you. Had it not even been for some other people. Right.
By the way, I don't have to name them, but Malu was one of those.
Yes.
Who will not leave my phone even up to this day. He does not leave my phone. Look at Stanton Witherspoon. Maybe you guys don't want to talk to the public. Oh, what people didn't say about him to the president. The man against you. The man want to bring you down. Small criticism. But today, when the man talking good now, they say, oh, the man for Joe, we are again. Why you will do that? Yeah. But again, if the president does not put his card on the table early,
I think he need to lead. You know, he need to lead. And, you know, I don't know Malu. I don't know him like that. But I like the guy. He's got energy. And I watch him most of the time. Like, this guy got a lot of energy. Even prior to the president, we had winning election. I like the guy. He got a lot of energy.
You said Dr. Peabody. Let me take that from you. And let's try to wrap this thing up. The guy's got to go home. I like Malu. You know, people just scare the heck out of him and say, if you go on Spoon, CEO will play the clip. No, we don't do that. I met Malu. He's a very, very quiet. He got a little shyness in him, and I think he's doing extremely well. Through it all, people say the worst. Well, they say he getting money. Some people say he's still hustling, but I think he's doing extremely well for the party.
Say he and Fala.
And I like Fala too. Say what you want to say. Though they don't beat him, but Fala is a cool dude.
How about Koji?
Koji with all his own manners. I like the fact that Koji is a young dude. He's still undergoing training. He will understand one day, whether in government or out of government, Koji will come to realize that he still got to fight for the young men and women of Liberia. He gets his bad side to him, but I think he means well when it comes to the young men. He have helped a lot of them. He have. Everybody not perfect. Something about Koji. He have tapped into a lot of young men and women. And though he want them to be sedition, but he have gone across to help others. And we understand. I think he have realized some of his mistake. If he would do it all over again, I think he will pause and think. Something about George Weah. And that's why people come around him. He get that thing that I'm going to tap into the youth. I'm going to help the youth. That tomorrow, they will see the bigger picture about Liberia. We are all not perfect, man. But let's look for that individual that will look you in the eyes and tell you that, you know what, Liberia belongs to you and you can do better. You can do more than I have done. But going back to the Jimmy NPP, the Prince Johnson party, the dialogue, I hope the president can find that negotiator. I hope he can sit on the table and have some straight, frank conversation with those guys. Right now, they are not asking for job because job is not. This thing is 10 months to go. You will give the man job for 10 months? No, that's not what they want.
They don't want job, man. They
want to be satisfied.
Fuck on Saturday, yeah. The people
want that.
People
settle them.
The accounts, the bad sure.
Because they have gone dry. And who benefited from this whole negotiation? Who actually walked away, traveling all over, enjoying?
Okay.
Man, it's hurtful.
It's
hurtful.
That means that means supposed to be a campaign where they're putting up stuff.
You see some people that they don't understand. They get vexed because you're trying to say the truth. Who's sitting by President Weah today and say, Mr. President, tomorrow is Friday. Let's call Jimmy to Jamaica Resort. Hear him out. Mr. President, let's call the Vice President Jimmy. We need to fix this. The only person I used to do that was McGill.
Yeah.
The president would tell McGill, say, go talk to them. Tell me when you want me to come in. This election is CDC election to lose. This election is President Weah election to lose. I spoke to somebody today. The person called me from overseas. It says, CEO, I said, yes, a very distinguished gentleman. He said, are you sure that President Weah want to be president again? He want to win this, he want to go for this thing again? I said, sure, yeah. He said, you think that they're just pushing him or he ready going like he went 2016 to win? 2017, 2018, he was satisfied. He said, I want to win this, I want to help Liberia. So then I asked, I said, but why are you asking? They said, we are not saying it. And they told me a lot of stuff, St. Thomas and George. The reason why they are not saying it. So if President Weah want this thing, that he want to be re-elected, that the people are tapping on something. That remind me of somebody that come on the show be tapping. But on a very serious note, Georgie, you ready to see that he won this? He won this like he wanted it before. prior to becoming president, St. Thomas George, let's end on this one. You really think that President we have really won this thing? And everybody around him just that connection and there no more, that zeal, that feeling that we can do this, we are together. You know, the Farah, the Koji, the Moba Molu, the Miguel that used to run the show down there. Now we get finance minister is in the hospital. It's just not coming together, man.
Stanton, you would think that he really wants it though, because when you see the presidents of our country, the trappings of that job, all the things that all the accolades that come with that job. Okay, when you traveling, and then you have to go through the regular process of going through the passenger will go through. You get that VIP and everything come to you. You imagine the president wanted to country for the 9 days or the country, and he just you living in one of your best of life. Okay, you went to the World Cup. You see the kind of respect you receive, the kind of attention you got. The people that travel with you, all of them travel. They all enjoy it. All of them was given royal treatment. And right now, you think and say, "Wow, if we need another 6 years to really to make ourselves strong, if we lose this thing, I can't see myself going back to that old lifestyle." Tell like we came to America. Whenever we go like bro now, you say no, I ain't able to go take back water from the bucket again. I want shower. I want stay about it. I want be something close to where I live in America. The same thing right now. All the people that been enjoying the last 5-6 years, they are right now. They are thinking. Say right now.
But how are they contributing, Georgie? I agree. I agree that they want to be there for the next 6 years.
If I was some of them, right? If I was some of them, I would stop posting pictures on Facebook, Instagram. Stop putting all these showing luxury and showing all.
They
say
they can't stop. It's okay, so they can stop
it, and now focus on now reaching out to the people that to mend fences that left us, because
let's have this conversation.
People are hurt about it. People are hurt.
It is. Let's go, guys.
Reach other people. Let's
wrap this thing up. I make my case already. Good show. Tomorrow we'll be making the case for Liberians out there. We'll be discussing the year in review. The president, ministers, directors, senators, representative, judges. We will come up with something, and then the following week we'll discuss the 5 top offices in the government. If you minus the chief justice, that will be the president, vice president, pro tem, speaker, and deputy speaker. We'll discuss them individually. We want to say thank you for joining us as always. We make some of you happy. Indeed, some of you are mad. It is why it is. No man is an island. We discuss the issue to help our folks in Liberia. So that's it, folks.
Have a good night, guys.
Yeah. Eugene, you want to say your last word, brother?
Yeah. But I'm my last word. I'm begging me about
on the show for tonight.
Last word.
No, but that's good though. That's good.
Yeah.
Anything happening?
And I will be very brief, but I really want everybody to just please pay attention to me on the panel. There was a guy, I think his name is Vani, Obadiah Vani. He was city mayor of Booming. He wanted to be representative, so you have to resign your job, right? He did. A sedition, die hard from day one. King second. But when it was time for the representative seat, because of Edwin Snow lifting up the current representative Lasana, CDC withdrew and put Obadiah on the back burner. You see the man they called Dawood Mesga today, NPP. He decided to run in Cape Mount. The CDC said they were going to withdraw. He begged. He came to McGill's gate. McGill said, let's call the chairman. Whatever decision they took, they left Dawood Mesga out. Dawood Mesga and myself went to school, even though I was a senior. Me and his big brother, Wilmer Mesga, were in the same class. He was lower. Today, he's the vice president. Obadiah finding the same thing. They let Bagbe Lasana and myself We're in the same class. We went to the same school. Bagbe passed away. He was going to run. So, in short, what am I trying to say, Fagon? Seditions had chances, but they were denied by seditions. I'm talking about the low level. The same thing in government today. Seditions were qualified to work, but they were denied by their very own seditions, the jobs. Now, who do they turn to? It's going to end where it will end. You will go with your own, they will go with their own, or it will end up being red back. The next 60 days, the determination will be made. And that's why I said, I may not be on this network. I don't care. I have my own platform, CEO. But when we choose side, the battle will be intense. For me, my battle will start from in the CDC barrier if I remain with the CDC. No soil coming outside. We turn the barrier upside down before the opponent even reach to us. But if I don't remain, the CDC can rest assured that political weapons of mass destruction will be used. And I will have no regret. Because you know why? Monkey work, baboon draw. They drew and they enjoy themselves. Then they ask us to give them another 6 years to go eat lobster and chicken and build condominiums. And then when we say, no, we can't do it, they say, no, you're not seditions. We are the real seditions.
But I hear they say you raise expulsion. So they expel you tomorrow.
You can expel me from the CDC. But to expel me from the CDC, you need the CDC. What do I mean by that? You can expel me from your...
Don't ask no more questions. Somebody, we got to go.
No, wait. Let me make a 10 seconds now. Don't do that to me. There are two CDCs when people talking, I always remind them. I was never a member of the Congress for Democratic Change. I'm not a member of the NPP. I'm not a member of the LPDP. I became a member of the Coalition for Democratic Change. It is a coalition. So when you expel me, first make sure you have a coalition.
I'm gonna say coalition.
What coalition is?
Fagon.
Congress for Democratic Change.
Fagon.
I'm not a member of NPP. I'm not a member of LPDP. So which one you are expelling me from? It's a coalition. You can only tell me we don't want you in our coalition. Then maybe I will join the alliance.
So you went there as an individual into the coalition as an individual. You went there as an individual though?
Yes. That's why I keep trying to teach them that there are several people. No way. You get it mixed up. They got Congress for Democratic Change.
We understand.
It's a political party.
Yeah. We understand.
Was I there with you in 2005?
No.
Was I there with you in 2011?
No.
Did I join your party at any point in time?
No.
Only when you formed the coalition. I am a coalitionist.
So my question to you, Fagon. So when the people are calling for the NPP, the CDC, the other party, right? You went alone as an individual to be part of the coalition.
As a liberal nationalist.
Okay.
And join the coalition.
Okay.
Please, Walisa.
That is why some of us were never accepted. Because they felt we're not there 2005, we're not there 2011. They forgot it was a coalition. And if I leave the coalition, I will either join an alliance or a collaboration.
Let me say the guys, wonderful show. Eugene Lamy Fagon, it will be very, very interesting tomorrow for you to join us. We'll be discussing that which is important for our country. The best senator, the senator that have done more and is even doing better, we'll discuss that senator tomorrow. We'll be discussing the representative of the year. We'll also be discussing the minister and directors of the year. We'll be discussing the political leader of the year. what that person brings to the table, and the possibility of that person winning the 2023 election. We'll be discussing issue concerning, someone call me and say, please don't talk about president and vice president. That's not a category we should talk about. But we'll be discussing political leader of the year. We want to discuss the issue that is at hand, the bread and butter of the issue, that which will benefit the people of Liberia.
We're great president,
right? We'll greet the president next year, not tomorrow.
Yeah, next year.
Yeah. We'll greet the president, the vice president, we'll greet them next year. We want to say thank you always. Yeah, though it's hard, man, but you guys always faithful in joining us. We appreciate you, my Benatia. Albian Kamara, thank you. Ayo Spencer, thank you. Samuel Morris, through it all, we said thank you, Esther Thomas. Louis Honoré, Otaka Kahu. Want to say Rose Russell, thank you. Asa Jala, Dick Brownell, Weeks, Reed Dwell. All of our good
Aaron Brown
passed away. Eric passed away. Jacob Sanu Simeon.
Thomas.
We want to say thank you very much for joining us, being up this late and listening to Fago. He didn't go into the CDC as a political party, but as an individual. That's the man.
And there were several like me. Councillor Findo, Ben Sanvio, they all joined the CDC. We are coalitionists, and we are the most populated group in the coalition. When we leave,
Teresa son, good night, yeah. We want to say Marima Kaba, say hi to the family for us. Say Dulet, we want to say thank you, Heron. Now, guys, understand that Costa will be in the country tomorrow. Actually, was reaching us. Costa is in the country, but he will be out tomorrow. Okay? We want to say that if Costa say if you want to see him,
if you want
to see him, go to the airport. And but Costa is arriving in the country and his party is having a convention. ALP having convention.
ALP tomorrow?
Yeah, it's starting tomorrow. ALP having a convention. No, my man, don't do that, my man. I respect.
ALP got one. They got one guy in ALP, right? They got one representative in the house there. That dude, since the guy in that house, you know about that guy before. Rather, I want to invite the guy. The guy said no, he coming.
The guy said he's not coming on. The guy, man, is keeping his corner.
I will support the person I'm running against him. I tell you that.
A different conversation. But listen, we'll be monitoring the convention. ALP having a convention, we'll be monitoring it. Are
you going to send a team there? We need to see pictures and things.
Yeah, we are. I asked Mr.
Who they are going there?
Well,
Good is in Europe, so we'll be sending the guys there. They will be covering the pro if they allow us, though. You know, Ben, listen, guys. People talk about Ben Ayure. Ben Ayure is a cool dude. You can have your differences with him in politics, but he's a straightforward dude. If he doesn't like it, he say it.
He's a cool guy, but Ben
Ayure is that Ben Ayure, like my dad. He's tell you exactly how he feel and keep on moving. He doesn't care. You know, I work with him when we're at 10th Street in his building.
Dr. Benina Wilfred Ure.
And listen, I admire his wife. She's a very nice woman. May Ure. I respect her a lot. Bena, you have a good family, his children. I respect them. And listen, I wish this convention well. Bena Ure was you know what I forgot? It was because of Bena Ure we got a station, you know that, right? He encouraged us when he took his soldier from India in his bedroom. We went there, he said, Stanton, don't put yourself into this. And I started laughing, you know. And he said, but it's good. It will be good for the young people. You know, sometimes he get mad, he says some stuff. But like anybody else, man, Ben Ayure is a good dude. We wish his convention well. James, arrange your team. If they agree, you guys go cover it. And cover the Ben Ayure convention for free. Because Ben Ayure did extremely well for this network. So anytime they want our services, we should render it to them. All right? Don't tell me about something I say. We appreciate the man family. And we're ready. Want to wish his convention well. He's a good dude.
You know, one fun. You know, when last 2017, when Ben Ayure and Prince Johnson signed an agreement. By the time Prince Johnson signed an agreement, you could see that Prince Johnson was signed, he left, he got us straight left. I told him, I said, forget it, man. That dude there, he gone. He telling you, say, he'll find an excuse. And what happened?
Yeah, but listen, Liberia is all we want. And Ben, you already know exactly what's happening. He has suffered for the country directly or indirectly. He tried to do a lot of good stuff. Sometimes it's not right. But that Liberia is all he have, like every one of us. So he will make sure that the right thing is done in Liberia for Liberians, and Liberia will win this time.
You ever heard U.S. story for the CDC? What he did for CDC?
Oh yeah.
We'll talk about that story tomorrow. Yeah. But guys, thank you. Rufus, have a good night. Rufus, I heard that your fiance is in the country. She left yet? She left? If she coming back, please send something for me, man. But that's a good thing, Rufus. I'm happy that the young lady left from here to go pay your visit.
Poor boy, not saying tonight.
I mean, I'm picking back. I'm trying to let all the teenagers all the teenagers lead the picking. The picking team are in the country. Let all the teenagers go away. The picking, you see how he's shining, he's smiling, you can't worry.
You will get several calls coming to the man now. Which one the fiance that they're talking about?
They get a left.
Just say the man misspoke. Just say the
they
man
get a left from Pennsylvania. They get a left from Pennsylvania and went to visit the man. I mean, that business. You have muted you. You can't talk. We're not hearing you. Let's move on. Yeah, have a good night.
I see you.
Well, this is how we wind down the curtains on today's presentation. Let's keep the peace and play.